Hello. Just give me 1 minute, guys. How we doing, peeps? All right. Nikki, IX, Stephen, good to see you guys. The legend that is flying me to the moon. Been to work, back home already. Not happy at all. Still no wood, so no panels can be made. So half a day's pay for today. In joke. Vander, hope you're well. Oh, what a soft twat. Yeah, there's some sad people on this YouTube, isn't there? Hey, really fucking sad. I might leave that there for the fucking full live, that comment there. Do you know, when that's all people have got to shuck at you, it's a fucking sad world, isn't it? Hey. Hey, we'll have less of that, IX. Keep yourself off them. Is that better? Or are you winding me up? Hi, Steph. I thought I had a copyright strike against my channel today because I got an email. Me, normal me, rushed straight in, didn't even read all of it. Got a bit pissed off about it, and I went and had a look again after I'd messaged Fly, and it was just a copyright strike for playing that one song yesterday. Nice one, IX. Yeah, as you do, mate. I don't understand all these strikes and stuff like that. To be honest, I don't even look at my emails. Hey, this is my new. This is how I just reply to these fucking fools from now on. Just smile and wave, smile and wave. Definitely Turkeying, 100%. It's because the side. Doing fucking well for somebody who's still a smackhead cesspit. I tell you that. Doing awfully well, mate. What was up with PP's volume then, or was it just me? Breaking up every second, couldn't even hear a word he says. Third day today, no weed. Sleep's getting a little bit better. Going back to work helped, definitely, even though it was just for half a day. Big love, Jackie. I've not come on to speak about nothing in particular, guys. Just thought I'd see who pops in. Think of the money, Dave. Think of the money. That's all I'm doing. I've got myself in at the opticians as well next week. Nah, that's terrible. You know, it's weird because I found yesterday quite hard, but today I've not even thought about it. Not once. Until I just mentioned it on here. In 4 weeks to be out of the system, say. Some crazy shit. It's Pele's funeral today, isn't it? It's the possessions at the minute. I don't even know. R.I.P. Pele. What a player. Never the best player in the world, though, in my opinion. There's a few top him for that. Was that just a test live earlier, Tim? A minute ago? I'm seriously thinking about looking for another job, you know. Seriously, I'm coming home at half days every day and only getting 20 odd hours in. 22, 24 hours in a week out of 40. It's not good. Nice one, Steph. When you don't enjoy doing it anymore and you're doing it just for the sake of doing it, that's time to knock it on the head. Fucking, it's been a big part of my life for fucking 27 years. 13 when I first had a first joint. Yeah, exactly. So I struggle though, IX, because if I was to look for another job, I'd struggle getting one, mate, if I'm honest, unless it was like a labouring job or because I've got no qualifications. I was quite lucky with the job that I'm doing now. I kind of fell into that because the wife's stepdad worked there as a lorry driver, and he managed to get me in. So I was quite lucky. I've been there 5 years now. Hey up, mate.
All right, mate. Go on, listen. Listen, are you there, bro?
Yeah, I'm here, mate. I'm here.
Yeah, man.
I was just speaking about the work situation, Fly.
Yeah, that's weird, that, you know, because it's happening a lot now, isn't it?
It's weird.
Sending your home, it's happening quite a few times, that, isn't it? And you're losing money, aren't you?
Do you know what my wages are normally just around the 400 quid mark a week, yeah, after tax.
Yeah.
I got just over 200 last week.
It's a good job you packed the weed in because you wouldn't be able to afford it anyway, would you? The way it's going with that work. Fucking hell.
It's ridiculous, mate. And I know for a fact it's not because of the price of timber at the minute. It's just the weather and they're not selling many panels. Do you know what I mean? So they've stopped getting the wood in to make them.
Yeah. So they do give you the option though, don't they? Of staying and just, but have the other lads stayed or have they gone home as well?
Everyone's gone home, mate. Apart from the main yard where they serve like customers for like just normal bits, you know, like nails and stuff like that. They've got like a main yard where they sell all the lengths of wood and all the gravel boards and stuff like that. And then there's our yard where we just panels.
Mm.
Yeah, they are having our pants down, mate, big time. It's all right for them. They're still sat in Mexico. Do you know what I mean?
Does this happen every year like it?
Yeah. Yeah, he got greedy in the summer, mate. He got really greedy in the summer. Because when I started, there was only 2 fence panel making machines. Now there's 4. And he seems to think the more we bang out, the more they'll sell, more money in his pocket. But it don't work like that, mate, does it? He's very, very greedy, mate. Normally this time of year, we've only got 2 people in my yard. There's 4 of us at the minute. Because in the summer, he took on 2 extra staff thinking it was going to be really busy and we'd need them. And no, it didn't work out like that, mate. So now they've got more staff than they need, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
It's a piss take though, mate. Don't help me one bit.
Yeah, man.
What?
Right, just at home for the afternoon now then.
Yes, mate.
Yeah.
Is that right, John? Marine ply. Wow. That is quite expensive though, that marine ply. It's one of the best timbers we make. We do in sheets. £390 for a 6x6 square. Wow. What the fuck are you making out of that, John?
I've heard on a panel on I don't know. I mean, this channel I've been watching this morning. We all know what it is. It's live at the minute. They've been talking about lockdowns again, and that's not the case, is it?
I don't know. I've heard rumours that it's getting pretty bad again. COVID and stuff like that.
I know a lot of people have been bad in that over Christmas, like getting whatever it is, whether it's Corona or what, I don't know, but I've never heard of no lockdowns. But
do you know what I saw today on here? I watched this guy. I can't remember what his name is, and he talks about the government and stuff like that. And he was talking about. He didn't say whereabouts it was, but McDonald's are trying out a no human contact store where you go in, you put your order in on a machine, and robots and fucking whatever else sort it out at the back. Then you get your food through a hatch. There'll be no staff in the store whatsoever, human staff. How mad's that?
I have seen programs like that where there is shops where you go in and there's nobody there. You do it all yourself and you pay yourself and that. I don't know if we'll ever see them in Middlesbrough, like, but
is this what it's coming to though, Fly? Is it? Do you know what I mean? Do you know with how stuff is at the minute? It's weird, mate. I found it really weird.
You just couldn't predict what it's going to be like in 5 years, never mind like 10 years. Fucking hell.
This country's fucked, mate. This country is fucked. It's absolutely fucked, mate. It's been drained from the inside out by, I'll say it, by people who shouldn't be here, mate, who are taking liberties. Simple as that.
Yeah. Have you ever had any debt, Dave? Have you ever had any debt? Have you ever had any, debt collectors and that, and at your door? Not at your door, but giving you hassle and stuff.
No, never, mate.
No. I have, like, from a long time ago. Everyone's like not paid a bill, or it's usually phone bills are the worst ones, believe it or not. They just chase you forever and ever, mate. And I looked into it all a good few years ago when, like, I got into a bit of debt and that. Looked into it all and ended up getting the people who I was getting letters off from 10 years ago. And there's a law where after 6 years, if they haven't got the money off you, then they're not entitled to it. They can still chase you for it, but you don't have to give them it. They can be as nasty as they want with you. But then I got this template letter off a site online that had all the right things to write, and you just had to sign it at the bottom. That got rid of quite a few of them. But there's still a few now, though. I mean, who the hell in the right mind thinks anyone has got a couple of grand to pay from a debt 10 years ago, the current state we're in, you know what I mean?
Exactly, mate.
They're all going to go out of business. Them companies that all they do, Dave, is buy debts up cheap from banks and that. You know, banks that haven't got the time to chase people for a couple of grand. They'll sell all these debts to companies, and they'll for nothing, for absolutely nothing, right? Pennies, and they'll just take over the thing, and they'll try and be nice with you at first. And honestly, I'm going to have a look around. You know, Torbs, he's been on quite a few channels lately. He's from Middlesbrough, taking our rights back. He's got his own channel with about debt and that. So anyone who's got a bit of debt and they're getting shit, go and have a look at that. It's quite good.
I don't think I've got Torbs' link, mate. Or if anyone can put it up. He went a bit mad yesterday on Andrew, didn't he? Fucking hell.
Oh, isn't it? He's been on Mountain Man's this morning, Torbs, as well. Don't know if you've seen any of it.
No, has he? What going on?
Yeah, well, he doesn't even know anything. He's never been on there before. Steve knew him, but he didn't really know Steve. Something had gone up. Somebody had put a post up and it said something about Torbs, so he jumped on like he does. But the funny thing was, Dave, he was sat in the barbers, right? Torbs was sat in the barbers listening, and he didn't have his headphones in, so everyone in the barbers heard what was saying. Nearly had a fight with the hairdresser. live on Steve's panel, like the hairdresser was having a go at Torbs and that.
No fucks given. No fucks given. It does make you wonder, though, mate, doesn't it? Just think if that one of the biggest fast food chains in the world is trying out stuff like that. Just think how many jobs that's going to lose.
Cool, I know, yeah.
It's mad to think about it, mate. But I can see it coming that way. I really can.
Yeah, there's like facts saying there that's the loophole that you didn't sign a contract with a debt recovery company. That's another one, yeah. That's another one that you can look into there about signing stuff. But there's this thing called statute, and that's the law. After I think it's 6 years, they can chase you if they don't get you in 6 years, then they've got to write it off. But there's no law saying they can't keep chasing you though. You know what I mean? Then you can get them done for harassment if it gets that bad. You know what I mean? But yeah,
we've always managed to like live within our means, if you know what I mean. We've never really got it. Well, we haven't got into debt, to be fair. When it comes to bills and that, though, I give the wife the money and she fucking sorts it out, mate. That's her department, bills and stuff like that.
Yeah. Well, he's the best one, though, Dave. You know, yeah, like I'm talking like when I was 25, right, and I'd had my first own house and everything, and you know when the credit card companies are sending you credit cards with 10 grand limit on them and stuff, and I'm not going to lie, right, I had about 20 grand's worth on credit cards years ago, and in the end I had to remortgage my house to pay them all off, and I had two of them left with about 10 grand I owed. And in the end, they ended up giving them a grand. They said, "Give us a grand, and we'll call it squits." Just so they got something off me, you know what I mean? But you think about it. When you had that 10 grand, I could have kept going to the bank, getting money out, right? Just putting it under my bed, knowing that a few years later, I would only have to give them a grand and settle for a grand. You know what I mean? Honestly, I wish I'd had my head screwed on back in the day, because
it's their fault. People's heads, mate.
Oh, there's not many people get 10 grand limit on credit cards now, I'll tell you. These are the days when you could get 110% mortgages.
What facts put a lot about TV license?
Do people still pay for that then? Do people still? I pay mine monthly, but I know a lot of people just refuse to pay now, don't they?
Yeah. It's only if you watch BBC, you got to pay it, innit?
Do they still get them vans coming around? Remember them years ago? You used to get them coming around with a big dish on the top, TV license.
Can tell you how many TVs, what channel you're watching, and whether it's black or white.
Yeah. But man, I mean, if there's another lockdown, that is it, man. It's fucked, isn't it?
I don't even want to think about it, mate.
Phew.
I really don't. Fucking hell. Saying that worked through the last one, didn't I?
Yeah, I did as well. Like, I had one of them. I can remember going to work on a Monday morning, there not being a single car on the road. I'm thinking, I'm making plastic trays here. Why am I risking my life to make a plastic tray? You know what I mean?
What was the word that they used? Only
Key workers, wasn't it?
Yeah, well, making fence panels was classed as that, apparently.
That's your boss again, that man. That's your boss twisting things.
Yeah, I know it is, mate. And do you know how they got away with it? Because they've got the smallest shop in the other yard that sells nails and, you know, all stuff like that, paint and stuff like that. And because it's a DIY shop, that's how they got away with it. People needed somewhere to go and get stuff to do repairs to their houses and stuff like that. That's the little loophole that he found. So even though panels was nothing to do with that, he kept our yard open as well.
Yeah.
It's all money, mate, innit? It's all money.
Who else is in the chat? I see Jim in the chat there, like.
Yeah, I think it was just a quick hello, mate.
Oh, yeah.
I wish I would have invested in a log burner, you know, for the house quite a while ago. I'm gutted I didn't.
So when you have them log burners, where does the smoke go then? Do you fit it in?
Yeah, you have to put a flue in. It has to be all done properly. They're not cheap, a few grand, but you'd save an awful lot of fucking money if you had one of them.
It's like, have you got a smart meter, Dave?
No.
Right, because you know all the big companies were hassling you to get a smart meter, right? Or get this smart meter fitted, like. But for me, right, one thing about the smart meter is like the whole idea of it as a customer is so you can see what you're spending, right? It shows you exactly what you're spending. You know, if you boil a kettle, it'll show you how much you've used or whatever. So that's good for the customer, but that's got to be bad for the company, though, isn't it? Because you were then watching how much you're using, so you're not using as much, so they're not making as much profit. So how does that work for them? How is that good?
I say fuck them smart meters, mate. I've got a smart finger. It turns plug sockets on and off once I've used them.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean. There's got to be another reason. There's got to be another reason for the companies behind putting a smart meter. It's just another way of keeping an eye on you, isn't it? And
yeah. Hey up, buddy. Hope you're well. Good to see you. Same to you.
Yeah, that'll be next when they start getting into your wages for stuff, isn't it? I've had that with the CSA before. Oh, horrible them.
I'm quite lucky when it comes to shit like that, mate.
Yeah, the CSA had the power to go into your wages, you know what I mean? And honestly, mate, I was getting my wage slip and I didn't know what I was going to get week after week. Once they're into your wages, man, that's it.
Is it raining where you are?
Not at the minute, mate, but it's a bit cloudy.
It's been pissing it down all day.
I noticed it was there was a frost last night though. It was the first time for a while. It had been like freezing cold, you know.
I got to work this morning for about 10 to 8, quarter to 8. It was still dark at 10 to 8.
Was it?
Yeah. Weird. But then it got light really quickly. Really weird, mate. Is the world coming to an end?
Well, you know, we've already had the longest day. We've already had the shortest day, haven't we? It was in December, so the nights are getting lighter now earlier.
Yeah.
Sorry, they're getting darker later now. You know what I mean? There's more light, which is fucking amazing. That like. See, our winter doesn't really start though, does it? Till like February, March.
I haven't got a link, buddy. No, it's just something that we was just talking about. Come up in conversation. You're back in 2 days, aren't you? You got one more day off.
Yeah. Yeah, back to the grind.
Make the most of it, mate.
What's Uncle JJ saying there? Is this the fellow who goes on Sparkies and that, doesn't he? I think I've seen him, never spoke to him, but I've seen him there.
Yeah.
What's he saying there? He's interested in the smart meter.
Yeah, the smart meter stuff. I've got a link.
Yeah, you know what? There was that. I mean, my mum and dad have got one, and but there was that insistent, right? With me, I used to get texts saying, "Right, we've booked you in. You just need to give us a time to come round." I was like, I don't want one, honestly. It's like,
even though you've not said you wanted one.
Yeah.
Forcing it on you.
Oh, totally, mate. Totally.
Do you know? I knew he'd be one of the first people in here. You know, I fucking knew it.
Who's that?
That fucking Shark Pit with his fucking divvy comments.
Oh no, yeah. Don't see that much of him now. Actually, I don't see.
You know what makes me? Do you know what makes me laugh? Look, Fly. He was going on about my wife the other night, wasn't he? Look how beautiful.
Yeah. Oh, was that him? Was it? Yeah.
Look how beautiful my wife is, mate. You see that?
That's right, mate. I always do you punching above your weight there, mate.
It's my fucking angel, mate. That's my queen.
That stopping weeds made him all fucking soppy, hadn't it?
I won't go that far, mate. I won't go that far. Do you know, that's one thing, you know, I've never really been like the romantic type, ever.
Yeah. Well, I'm saying nothing, me, like, because I mean, nah. I know what you mean, mate. Us doesn't come naturally to fellas, though, does it? Let's be honest.
Oh, sorry, Uncle Jay. 1 second, buddy. Let me just put the link out, mate. Sorry, Fly. There we go.
He's got one. It's been great because I can put electric and gas online.
Oh,
can you have a smart? I think he might be on about a different meter here.
So you can actually just top it up online then, is that what he means?
I think he might be on about a smart key, a key where you top it up.
Oh, right.
I'm on about a meter that's got nothing to do with your. You can only have a meter, I think, if you haven't got one of them keys, actually. I'm talking about something that tells you exactly right down to the penny how much. Yeah, he's getting mixed up. We're getting mixed up, I think, here. You know, when you go and put £20 on a key, and at the postie or whatever, and you put it in your meter, I think that's what JJ's on about.
Yeah, no, I wanted to talk to you about these smart meters. What do they do? Because I never even knew nothing about it, and they just come around and put one in this new place that I've got. Yeah, I've got it. Let me show you. Got it here. Look, see the thing?
The little white box.
Yeah, little box here. That's what I've got. See it?
That's the one, mate. And is it telling you how much you're using and that?
Yeah, it tells you what you use, what you do. Plus, if I run out of electric and all this, which is really handy for me, because sometimes I'm laid up indoors and I can't get out, you know, I can just go online, add the gas, add the electric, and you know, it's been a fucking dream for me, to be honest. It's been really good, but I don't know anything about them, so I'd love to know. Is it a con?
Have you got a key though, JJ? Do you put your electricity on with a key normally, like in your cupboard?
I used to have a card that you go in, a card and a key. You took it to the shop, and they done it like that. But now all you do is you go online. You've got an app that comes with these meters, and you just tap it in online. It's so fucking easy. It's unbelievable. It's a lot easier than the key and and the card. Right, you still have a card. I can still go to get gas and electric with the cards that I've got because I give you them as well, just in case the box goes down. But I've never had to.
But you don't get a bill, though, do you, JJ?
Nah, no, it's all just done like that.
Yeah.
You pay it as you go along, and you know, sometimes it can be a bit expensive, you know, but you know, it's what it is. But I found it really easy to have the things. I mean, but I don't know nothing about them, though. So if you guys have got knowledge, I should know.
Yeah, what I was on about, JJ, I didn't know that you could get one when you had them keys. You know, I'm on about people who get bills, you know, monthly bills or quarterly bills.
Oh, no. These are pay-as-you-go things, these smart meters. They're like sort of and I swear to God, it's been a godsend.
Yeah, I can see the advantage there if you're paying it because you know exactly how much you're paying, don't you?
Yeah, exactly. You can go look on them and see exactly what you're using and what's using in your house and turn it down. They actually help. But to be honest, you know, electric and gas has gone up, I would say, tenfold since fucking COVID and all that. So it has gone up, obviously, but they still are good, though, because it'd be the same price if I just was going out with a key and getting it on that. It wouldn't make no difference in the price of what I'm paying.
Yeah, so in that way, like, what? So if they wanted to put one into you, say you didn't have one, JJ, and they were trying to get you to put one in, what do you think the advantages are for them for putting that in there? Could you see an advantage for them?
I can see the advantage with if they're not, you know, if they're just having quarterly bills and all that, there'd be an advantage because you can actually look everything up on the box, what it's using, what's using the most electricity, what you need to cut down on, and what you don't do. I can see the advantage there. Yeah.
See,
I can see it being an advantage.
That's another thing. Do you know what we was just on about, Fly, about that McDonald's with no staff? To me, this seems like something like similar to that. Because if it can all be done by these smart boxes now, there's going to be no one coming out to read your meter or
doing away with customer
services. You can read it yourself. It's all done online, Smiths. It is, Dave. It's all done online.
There's no customer services because no one's arguing about how much they've used or anything, and your bill's always going to be right because you haven't got a bill. You just pay it out your pocket straight away. So it all seems like it's going that way. Like
it does, doesn't it? That'll mess the world up, mate.
To be honest, it's taken away jobs. Yeah, I would see that. The disadvantages, it's jobs being taken from people. Less money for the big corporate companies, as it always is, you know, in the long run. And the common person like us, I can see it being less jobs. But for the convenience for people that can't get out to the shops and get the electric on, like myself, that's been a godsend for me. I've got to admit that.
Yeah.
But that's just me. That's my own selfish shit. But for other people, for jobs and things like that, it's not going to be clever, is it?
No. Well, check this one out, right? There's a Tesco next door to me, right? It's a Tesco Express. We all have them, don't we? You know, the ones that they're not quite a supermarket, but they're a bit smaller. Yeah. It's been there 5 years, right? I got told last night that it's closing down because they can't afford the rent.
What?
Tesco can't afford the rent on this building where this Tesco Express is. And I've never heard of that before in my life, Tesco, you know what I mean?
That's unbelievable.
But you know what it is, right? There's a lot of shoplifting going on, right? And to the point where I can go in there any day and I see somebody just filling a bag up and walking out, you know what I mean? And like I've tried stopping them before, but because these self-service, it's going back to what you said, Dave, right? The self-service tills, when there's 3 of them in this little Tesco, right, where I live, and there's one till. And whenever you walk in, there's never anyone behind the counter, you know, where all the cigarettes are and everything, because they're always filling shelves up and stuff. And if you were waiting at the till, you have to wait for them they might be at the other end of the shop to come down if you're paying cash to use the till. And there's that, and the shoplifting, and they just can't be making enough money.
That's mad, though. A big company like Tesco's doing that. Do you not think?
Isn't it?
Wow. I mean, even Cambridge ain't too far from me. I mean, even doing away with delivery, man, there's these little white boxes that go around delivering people's shopping.
Yeah, I've seen them like a little robot.
Yeah, they're not reached up me yet up in Essex, but just some of the neighbouring counties. When you drive through there, you see these little bloody boxes going along the street, and I see one the other. I said, "What the fuck? Look at that thing!" And I was just like cracking up, saying, "What is that?" And then the cab driver said, "That's a delivery service. They're delivering shopping." I was like, "What?"
You not seen them fly?
What? There was nobody in it.
No,
No,
do
there's
you
no
know
one in it, mate. They're just these little white fucking box things, and and apparently they've got shopping inside them, and they deliver it straight to your address. Then it opens up and says thank you and all this. You take your shopping out, and then it goes back to get some more shopping to deliver to someone else.
It'll all be done by GPS, right? There'll be a GPS system in it. And it'll just
Yeah.
pinpoint where it's going to. They'll put that in the system, and it just this little robot on wheels just drives to the housefly and delivers the shopping for them.
Yeah, I've never seen them, like.
Yeah, it can get up steps. It knows what ways to go. It just bloody. It was unbelievable. The cab driver, it cost me an extra fucking tenner. I promise. I said, look, we've got to watch. I want to watch this. Follow it. I even made the geezer follow it. I said, I've got to see this, and it did. It went all the way there, and it just stopped. And I should have filmed it. I should have fucking filmed it. It was unbelievable. It was.
I can definitely see drones playing a part in the future. Like in the next 10 years, I think the drones will be delivering stuff to you.
Well, Amazon have already done that, haven't they? Like delivering stuff with drones.
Yeah.
Have they?
Yeah, Amazon have already done that in certain areas. Like the drones deliver stuff as well. But now they've got these little road things. It's just. Yeah, look, ask man. Look, they cross the road. They know how to do everything. These bloody little. It's just unbelievable, and it's just a white box thing.
Yeah,
it's like Cardman's just said there, and he got me thinking there. Because I don't do like a big shop once a week like families do, where they go around the big Morrisons or whatever. But every time I have been into Tesco, like this proper big Tesco, the supermarket, when you go to pay, the actual self-service tills, there's far more of them than normal tills now.
Yeah, exactly.
Say there's 15 self-service tills, right? And they might have 2 people on there, walking around making sure everything's all right. So when you think about it, that's saving 13 wages, isn't it, a year?
Yep.
Of course, it's all about the big conglomerate companies. They just want more and more. It's greed, isn't it?
Yeah, that's all it is. It's pure greed. Them big corporate companies they run everything, don't they? When you think about it, let's be honest.
Yeah.
They've got more of a say in what goes on in the world than people realise.
Exactly. I mean, gone are the days when you walk in a supermarket and you see someone sat behind the counter, reading a book or something, or a little shop. It just doesn't happen, does it? Waiting for someone to serve. It's
walk in a minute.
National Insurance going up again.
What, bro?
Sean's just put there that National Insurance rise again in April. It's going to send some folks right under. What the hell?
So, will that be like a percentage? Will that be like another 1% or something like that? Is that how that goes up?
Wow. I think they're just trying to suffocate the little man, aren't they? Really?
Do you know what it's like to me? It's like a sponge. Do you know when you get a sponge that's full of water and then you wring it out? To me, that's what this country feels like's happening to it. It's been drained of everything.
Yeah.
2.2 billion. 2.2 billion a year in refugee accommodation spending at the minute. This government 2.2 billion a year.
Wow.
It's fucking ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Yet there's loads more coming over. I'm not racist before anyone says out. I just have an opinion on this thing because it pisses me off.
I totally agree with you. I totally agree. There's more spent on that than there is on the people that actually are born and bred and live there all their lives, and which just totally forgot about. Like I said, I'm 57 years old. It took me how many years? 40 years. I was on the housing list. Couldn't get a place for love nor money. Took me to get as old as I am now. Got some serious conditions to get a place.
Yeah.
And people can. I wasn't put up in no hostels or this. That. I got put in an hostel once. I think it was once or twice, but not for long. But never in no hotel or bloody big flat. And then I had to pull my act together, which you got to do. Obviously, I got a job, and the only thing I could do when I pulled my act together, they said you'd have been better off as a junkie if you wanted to get a flat. You should have stayed like that and pursued it even more. And I went, what? I said, well, I'm better now. I just want a place like this. Let me get a place. I get on with my life. And no, you have to privately rent. So you have to go and pay extortionate prices. So you didn't have hardly no money. So it was hardly, you had nothing really. Couldn't go on holidays or nothing like that. You just mainly goes on rent. You know what I'm saying? Rent and your food. And you have nothing. But then it took me to get seriously ill. And then I've got given a place now. And I can honestly say to you now, I'm better off now with my little pension that I get and what I get, this thing called PIP,
Yeah.
than I was when I was working. What incentive does that give a working man? I just don't get it. I don't understand what they do, these people, how they govern us like this.
Yeah, I know it's a tricky one in it because there's a few people in the chat now who are, I like everyone in this chat. I get on with everyone. Distat, right? He's a top bloke, and I noticed last night in the chat in Darrell's, you know, when PP was on and OGM, they were on about the NHS and the Tories and that, and there was 100 people in, and Distat was that. He was that aggrieved by it. He said, "I'm bored. I can't listen to this," and like. Just shows you the difference of opinion people have, you know what I mean? Like, everyone's different and the way they see it going, you know?
Yeah. You've got to respect people's opinions, right?
Yeah. He said there he was fuming, like, it. I don't know enough about it, you know, I don't even want to. I think once you start looking at the politics and everything, and I do believe they're all full of shit. I mean, remember a few years ago, that was the big eye opener when all the you know, when they were making claims from getting the gardens done at home and stuff. All these MPs.
Yeah. I remember that.
They all come out that. And
paying for their duck ponds and paying for this, and look who they held accountable. I think one lowly councillor got charged, wasn't it? Doing it, one lowly one, and all the big ones that was getting all the big money and this, that, and the other. It was all hush and quieted, and you know.
The MPs would get members of the families to like work for them, and it was it's not right. It wasn't allowed. You know what I mean? They were like paying them money for nothing. You know,
rents for 2 homes.
Yeah.
How long was that Liz Truss in Parliament for? Long was it?
Yeah, I mean, let's face it, right? We went through a voting system. The whole of Parliament went through a voting system to get that Truss in, right? So who's to blame for her going in? They're all made mugs of themselves. They put her in through a voting system that went on for weeks in Parliament, and then she lasted a couple of weeks. What the fuck?
Yeah, it don't make sense, none of it.
She gets 300 grand a year now for the rest of her life just for being Prime Minister, you know, for nothing.
Oh, mate, do you know how rich Tony Blair is now? You know what he's doing? He charges hundreds of thousands now as a consultant and stuff.
Madness, mate.
Once you've been the Prime Minister, like you made,
you can all have Harry and Meghan back.
Has anyone watched that series that's just come out about them two? Like where they're spilling the beans, aren't they? I haven't watched it. Apparently, they're spilling the beans on the royal family and that, aren't they?
I might watch that, mate. I might watch that.
I'm not exactly a royalist, to be honest. I've got to admit that.
No, but I'm a nosy fucker, so I'd like to know what they're saying.
Oh, it's supposed to be a bit of an eye opener, like, but he's a Swan and only. Hey, you've got a few newies in the chat here. Swan and only.
Yes, Swan. What's a Sunderland, bro?
Swan. I like Swan.
JJ, what channels do you go on then, mate? I think I've seen you on Sparky's. You go
I've
on
been
there
on
quite
Sparky a few times, and I went on Angel J's a few times, but I stopped watching that now, and Torbs and Bears, a few of them. I don't really go on a lot no more, to be honest.
Yeah,
I was just cruising through, and I heard you guys having an adult conversation with loads of peace and calm, and without all the you know, that I want to view and shouting and hollering and accusing people of this, that, and the other. And it just was beautiful listening to you guys, you know. So I thought I'd pop on.
That's what we're all about, flying it.
Yeah, it's usually like this. You know, there's a few of us, JJ, who came from, you know, Fighting Trolls, the Snake Pit.
Yeah, yeah.
We came from there, and like we've been mates for since like about a year, and we all just started our own channels, and we're all exactly on the same subs, aren't we, Dave?
Yeah.
And we have the same like crew in the chat.
I've seen that fight. That was another headache. It was like cesspit when I suffer mental illness when there's too much shouting and all that. It sort of sticks with me, and I sort of become angry. You know what I mean? So I try to stay away from them.
It gets a bit heated on Sparky's though at times, doesn't it?
Yeah, sometimes it does. I mean, sometimes I get on there and I start getting in with it, and then so it can be intoxicating, can't it? All that drama, you know, and like, and you get
yeah,
you know, that angry shit. I try my hardest to stay away, but sometimes I get pulled into it. I try and stay away from it now.
Yeah, I think everyone's guilty of that at some point, getting pulled into stuff.
Yeah, it's just all crazy. I mean, to me, what I see lately is just a load of fake beefs. I think they're just fake, just doing it just for views and subs and this, that, and the other. Just looking at everything and anything and trying to cause an argument over anything, putting people's names into it and saying this, that, and the other. Like, you know, you're supposed to know everything that goes on YouTube, and like you can't make mistakes on it because if you do, it's like it's just insanity. It really is, and all they're doing it for is views and subs. It's nothing more. Nothing more. It's for money or to try and get money out of you lot, you know, us lot, or Google or whatever they're doing it for. But that is all they're doing it for. Calling out people for that alone. Nothing more.
Yeah, that's why I've got a lot of respect for Distat, you know, because he's been on certain channels, but he sticks by what he says, and he don't get swayed either way. Do you know what I mean? He's straight down the line, mate. Straight down the line. Where a lot of people now, they've been pulled either one way or the other. Do you know what I mean? So if you're seen in certain channels now, you get ignored by the other side, and it's fucking it's bollocks.
Yeah, it's all about people creating divides, isn't it?
Yeah, that's all it is.
So I don't know if you want to like talk about Dave, but what do you think about what's going on now with Cesspit and Expo? It's getting out of hand, that you know. You know, with this charity thing.
So bullshit, isn't it? So bollocks.
From who?
Bullshit.
I've made videos about it. All I say to you guys is
I don't know where you're. I don't know how you stand on this, JJ, because I don't. It's the first time I spoke to you, but I mean,
I used to work for charities. Yeah, I've worked for a few of them, and the last one I worked for was in the town I'm in there called Streets to Homes. I've seen how it operates. A very small charity. 365 days of the year, they're feeding people warm food every single day. They're giving out clothes, parcels of food every week. It's a working charity. I bet there's only a couple of. They have a cook and an accountant that goes through all the facts. A very minimal amount goes to them for their wages and plays on their premises. When it's cold weather and snow, they open up the premises and all the homelessness people in Arlo have somewhere warm to go and sleep. They give out tents, they give out blankets, they do this and do that. My advice is YouTube is not a safe place. You don't know whether you can or can't trust it. It is 50-50 whether someone's being honest or not. So why not go around, look around your own places, in your own area, find yourself a really good charity, because they invite you in to see if you want to be a donator to them or that. They invite you in and show you everything, even show you the books, you know, and then you can see what you want and what you won't want to do. That's my advice.
Well, it's got the point now where, I mean, on Expos last night, they were putting receipts up and stuff, yeah, of like what, and you can guarantee Matt, you'd have been watching all that last night. I think he made a reaction video to it, but he did it on Fighting Irish's channel. It was late last night, like. But
he's actually the only person I see that even put up PayPal links last year. He done this autism one when he was small, when he was Film Boys, and he actually even put up the PayPal links that people donated and how much. So you knew for a fact how much was. You knew everything then, and that sort of swayed me. I thought, well, that's good. That's the only one I have ever donated to, and I sent him a couple of bob for that. And that's the only time I've ever really donated. And I've donated a couple of bob for BBA to go and visit Andrew J. Otherwise, I mean, if you want to donate to a person's channel, which I think is a good thing, if they're putting out their time and doing this, that, and the other, you'd pay Sky for a channel, wouldn't you? So if you feel like you want to donate their channel, I say that's a good thing.
Yeah.
Give them a coffee or a little bit of help, no problem. But from now on, what I've seen over the past year, I wouldn't give a penny to any charity or anything in here. I'm going to do what I've done before and donate, which I always do, to a certain charity that I know works 100% in my local area.
Yeah,
Well, let's put it this way.
Good advice.
Yeah, we'll put it this way, Dave. If you right now, right at this minute, right, knowing what's gone on in the last few days, if you were to give £100 last week to Film Boys charity, would you still be happy with that now, or knowing what you've seen now? I would. I think my £100 gone to where it should have gone. I don't know if everyone else would think that. You know what I mean? But I mean, he's picking everything to bits, even to the point where they're trying to. The questioning the homeless bloke that was sat on the floor because he had clean hands. I don't get it. They're saying that he was a setup. I mean, and if that's just YouTube, if they're going to turn around and say, "Oh, it's just YouTube," innit? But you can't go around saying that, surely.
I really don't know what they're doing it, but it's just been turned into something horrible. Everything on here, hasn't it? And
I don't know, Film Boy personally. The Zeus is
exactly
in the
right.
chat.
It's like a charity. You have to be very careful where you word things on here as well, because if he's online saying it's something to do with a charity, that then comes then under fraud. And even taking money by deception and not using it, every penny, you have to account for every penny in a charity. I've worked in charities. You have to have a charity number. You have to pay tax. That tax is refundable, of course. You get it back to going into a charity, but you still have to do that. And you have to have an accountant. So they're not, he's exactly right to say it's not a charity, right? It's just someone who's doing a charitable thing. Yeah, so you have to word it properly, because even by your words, you can be charged under law for fraud. You've got to be really careful where you do this online stuff. It's not as easy set as it is. Like, come here, donate your money, and it can be looked into.
I'm looking in the chat there, right, and like, there's two people there straight away who said they're both happy with they both donated to Film Boy, right, and they're both straight up people in my eyes, Jim and Distat, right, and they both said they're both happy with everything. They've given money to Film Boy, they're quite happy. So that says a lot to me, you know what I mean? Because they're not stupid. They're not just giving money willy-nilly. So
yeah,
I don't see why he's getting ripped apart, like why Film Boy's getting scrutinised the way he is, you know.
I think maybe it's what they've seen on here over the years, that everyone, most people that have done something good have been pulled out as being a fraud, hasn't it? Has been pulled out as being wrong. So he's being categorised in them books. So the people that are doing really good stuff are going to be it's like you judge a book by its cover, don't you? So then you see all the same things happening all the time. This one was scamming, that one was scamming, this is a scam. You see all these videos, and then a lot of people think everyone's scamming. They just, it's just the way it is. It's law of the jungle, isn't it?
Yeah. The thing is, as well, I like both channels. I like Expo's channel, I like Expo, and I like all the people in this chat. But you still got to have your opinion, you know what I mean? Like, personally, I think Film Boy's done a lot this year. He's tried everything, you know. He's been out and about. We've seen him give money out, buying stuff. We haven't seen anyone else doing that, you know what I mean?
Yeah, look what Swan says there. Look, that's it, the nail on the head for me. By criticising someone's actions, good or bad, it gives your channel content.
Yeah, I suppose it's all content in it.
And that's it.
Everything.
Shits and giggles.
There's a lot of things what you shouldn't really do in it, but again, not everyone knows everything. I suggest if people were going to do these charitable acts, really read up on it properly, because I've worked in rehabilitation and charities a long time, you don't actually film a person who's vulnerable, because later on in life, when they get better and that, they could look at that as a shame thing and it could pull them back in. So what you try and do, you wait until someone is like 2, maybe 3, maybe 4 years into their recovery and strong enough, and then they can come on and give a testament, you know, because they're working on it. But when they're actually in the ground with all the blankets over them and all this, you shouldn't really be filming for them reasons, because they may not want family members to see them later on in time. They may not want to come, you know, it's a very touchy subject. So I would say read up on it properly, because you can put it all out without filming everyone. Do you know what I mean? You can still put out the same stuff. You can not show them. Do you know what I mean? You don't necessarily have to show the person you're helping. Do you just see the bags being I'll just say be careful with how you do it. Be a bit sensitive, because you've got to take each individual client differently. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, because you've got to remember, why that man's sitting there on the floor with the blankets over him, in 2 or 3 years' time, he might be better with a job, and then all of a sudden it all comes back up, and there's someone, because you know how wicked people are, they start ridiculing him for it. Next minute he's drinking again or doing this, that, and the other, because of the shame that he feels from being that way. You know?
Yeah.
You can't make valid decisions when you're out and you're homeless and you're vulnerable, because at the end of the day, you'll say anything just to get a blanket or a few quid. You will. I've been there. I've been homeless. I know what that's like.
Yeah.
You know, PP's live earlier on, Dave. Yeah, I got a notification for that. Now my ears pricked up. I thought, right, I want to have a listen to what PP's got to say. Yeah, because PP, I've known him for a year. He knows all us lot, doesn't he, Dave? He knows we're all decent and that, and he comes in our chats and whatever. But I don't know how many people who tuned into that were hoping the same, that he was going to try and explain all that from last night, what happened on Expos. Obviously, we couldn't hear a word he said, could we? So no one knows what his live was going to be about. But I have a feeling he was going to have some sort of explanation or about last night, you know, and what's going on. But we didn't hear a thing, did we?
No. Signal, wasn't it, I think, mate?
Yeah, so he kind of looked at his phone once.
Watch it. I don't really watch
it. He must have been concentrating on the road, because he can't have seen any of his messages, because everyone was telling him we couldn't hear him.
Too busy chasing that car in front.
Yeah, I mean, you know what? It's not what I come on YouTube for, to talk about crap and donations and all that. You know, we don't even normally talk about stuff like this, do we, Dave? But and half the time it's because I just can't be doing with the smoke. You know what I mean? I don't want to be getting slagged off on channels and that. But
that's what I mean, mate. You can't go. People are making it so you have to go one way or the other.
Yeah,
that's why.
Yeah, that's big division, isn't it? The divide in it again, and it's division again.
Started ignoring me fly because I went on the cesspit. Do you know what I mean? And
yeah.
I want even to go on there for like. It was to go on there to confront Ash String. That's all it was. It is what it is, mate.
Get your link out, Dave. I think Nicky wants to come on. Nicky always live and zip paddle up.
Lads, I've got to shoot off. This dog's driving me mad.
Thank you for jumping on. Really nice speaking to you.
Great, man. It's just nice to talk to some sensible people without all the chatting. So yeah.
Make sure you sub, JJ. You must have subbed to Dave, but make sure you're
yeah, put your link in. Put your link in there. Can someone put your link in and I'll sub to you, mate?
Yeah, because we always have chats like this. We have a laugh as well.
I'll put you on my community as well, mate.
Nice one, buddy.
Yeah, respect you, mate.
I'll do you both
I'm
now.
subbing you anyway. I think
I'm to Dave. Who are you then? Can you someone put your
Fly me to the moon. I'll leave a message on you on a. Have you got a channel like JJ?
Yeah. I've got a channel, Uncle JJ's. It's called. What's there?
Yeah, yeah.
Well, it used to be called John Mallon, my name, but everyone said, no, you got to change it and do this and do that. And they called me this, and I said, go on then.
Yeah, nice one, JJ.
Catch you later, guys.
Catch you later, bro.
and I'll catch you later. See you later. I'll put you on my community channel. Ciao, guys.
That's one, buddy. Take care, mate. Get the links out there, mate. Big love to the 35 in. Big love.
35. Get up there, Dave.
Oh, mate.
Yeah, Nikki's big. I seen her in there. She was in Steve's live there. She said here she got blocked 3 times on 3 different accounts. He's fucking mad.
Yeah.
All right, Trouble.
I don't know whether I should come on panel. Have you two got your Kleenex ready? Have you? Because I hope you both either need a bog roll or tissues, because I've just made Mountain Man cry, and I didn't even raise my voice. He said, "Oh, here you come, screaming and shouting." I went, "Have you ever even heard my voice, Steve?" And he went, "No." I said, "Have you ever heard me scream or shout?" And he went, "No." And I went, "Then why are you saying it?" Anyway, it after blocking me on 3 accounts, and I said, have you seen the Dog Nonce video? You know, the famous Dog Nonce video. And he went, "No." I went, "Really?" I said, "You haven't seen the Dog Nonce video?" And he went, "No." I said, "Then
Exactly.
why are you calling me a dog nonce?"
Exactly. I seen it, Nicky. I seen him say them words, and I thought that is just bang out of order. Like,
I said,
you can't say that.
Telling people to go and look into you, and yet you're calling me a dog nonce based on hearsay.
Yeah.
And then he burst into tears.
What, actually crying?
I didn't see that bit. Like, I'd already turned. I was.
That's why I'm saying I think you need your tissues, lads. Listen today.
Fucking hell.
What the fuck? I know.
I was ready for a go with him. He blocked on all 3 accounts. I was having there's somebody on Facebook called Joanne, and she's always in his group. And she was saying, "I'm going to block you." So I said, "Well, just go and block me. Don't threaten to block me. Just block me." So she did. So I came in on my other live follower account. And I went, "Are you going to block this one as well, Joanne?" So Steve started shouting at Joanne, "Don't you be blocking anybody in my channel. Don't you be blocking." And she said, "Take me spanner, take me spanner." So I came in on my old Betty Barnes account, and I went, "Woo! Here I am again. Woo! Oh, fucking Joanne was losing her rag. He was dog noncing. That's it. You fucking block. And I thought, fuck you. I'm just going to go. He was right revved up, though. He was ready for a blowout. He was ready for you know, when you get that hyper and actually you end up crying, because that's the only emotion you can do to actually get it out of you.
Yeah, I've been watching him. I've been watching this morning for a few hours, like, and it's been an up and down on there.
Hasn't he? I mean, he wants to fall out with the world today. So I thought I'll just go in and just say, firstly, I don't think anybody's heard me scream and shout on Facebook, not on YouTube, nobody. Secondly, have you seen the video? And when he said no, I could have just split my loopy lid. Because he said on loads of times, "I saw you wanking that dog off. I saw you." Well, I thought, well, you fucking didn't, because I didn't. So what you seen that I'm not seeing?
Nicky, if anyone's seen that video, I mean, it's ridiculous, isn't it?
They don't go and watch the videos. They don't take the time to watch the video. They don't.
I mean, you put that you did put that video up, didn't you, on your own channel?
That's about an hour and a half live. I was doing that for ages. I had him. I can't remember. It was about 2 or 3 days or 2 weeks. He was right new, and all he would do when he came to you was lie on his back and do that submissive thing. He wasn't really into loves. He was a very damaged dog when I got him, and it had to be very, very gentle. So me touching him with my, I've touched dogs with my feet all the time when they're on the bloody floor. And for me to be able to do that, I was like, "Oh, look at him, man. Look, he's letting me touch him." So it's a whole series of videos since I'd got him of, "Oh, look, I'm getting to be able to touch him," you know? Yeah.
You see, I mean, it's dead now. That video's dead, isn't it? The whole thing's dead, right?
Oh,
And like,
it isn't, no. You go
It
on
should
to
be,
a
though.
certain channel, and
It should
every
be, man.
single one of them in that channel will call me a dog nonce.
Fucking hell.
Afternoon.
I take notice of the people who
Oh,
don't
Tim.
call me it.
Hiya, mate.
Hiya, Tim.
Hiya, Moon.
I take
All right, Tim, lad.
notice. I take notice on YouTube of the people who don't call me it or don't get involved in the back and forth with it. They're the people I take notice of. I don't take any notice of the people who do, she made a child cut her wrists. Well, you know, if that's what you want to see out of a tiny clip, you know, clippers are good. But if you can pick a tiny clip and blow it up out of all proportion, then hey, that is what social media is all about.
Yeah.
That's why it's not reality. That's why they say it's YouTube. Because if you're having a conversation in the pub and there's just A and B in the pub and you're having a conversation with A and he says something and 10 minutes later you said that before, and you say, no, I didn't. There's no proof of it. You can't go back and rewind it and clip it. So, you know, it just doesn't happen in reality, does it?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
Gossiping, I think it's called, in reality.
yeah.
It's getting nuts, isn't it? YouTube really is.
Oh, honestly, it's not a place I'm wanting to be around, Tim. I actually thought today's the day that I'm actually, I'm not deleting Thingamabobs because I love YouTube for all my crime stuff and me, all sorts of different stuff I watch on YouTube. And I thought, that's it, I'm out. This dog nonce stuff is just getting on my wick. It's not getting me down, it's just getting on my wick, you know?
People just jump on the bandwagon, don't they? A lot of people just jump on the bandwagon and that's it.
Tim, I've just done it with Steve Farsing now. I blocked on all
I am watching him for ages.
Dog nonce. So I went on, I jumped on the panel because I couldn't say anything in the thing. And I just said, have you seen the video? And he went, no. I was like, so you're basing the very video and what everyone said? And he just started crying, Steve.
Did he really?
Proper crying.
Wow.
Boo-hoo crying.
Nuts,
I
isn't
should
it?
have trusted you.
I didn't see that bit. Like,
He's saying, I've no food, I need PayPal donations.
you know.
Get my PayPal donation. That was just before, because that what would rile me to get on, because I was going to say, and who the fuck are you to be asking for donations?
Yeah.
Go to work.
I pay anyway for my next live.
So
What,
I
for
came
6
on here
minutes?
and I just said to these two,
Yeah, 6 minutes. That was a test.
have you
all.
got your Kleenex at the readies, boys?
Tim, that was a marathon for you, that last one, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
I see where you're coming from, though, because anyone watching YouTube this morning, any of us lot, must have been thinking, come on, somebody put something on a live on where we could have a chat, because there was only Steve on, I think.
Yeah, well, I put it.
That's all right.
Yeah, I just said, well, you're welcome to come in and chat, I'm just looking and all that, but then I put some music on.
Yeah.
Did you see I left you a comment? I saw some RS2 rally.
Yeah, I did see it.
Yeah, okay, that's all right.
Yeah, thanks.
From the rant,
Much
I think
appreciated.
it was.
Yeah, he's pretty good, actually, very good.
Yeah. Oh, I'm glad you saw it.
Yeah.
Maggie, you out, my darling?
I like to pick up on what people like, and then if I see something, I like to, pass it on.
Yeah, I only seen it, when was it? Yesterday, I think. Yeah.
Awesome. I'm glad you saw it.
Yeah, thanks a lot.
So
Yeah, Maggie, you don't know me much about Maggie.
I had a couple of Mark 2s, they weren't RSs.
Yeah.
A couple of Mark 1s and a couple of Mark 2s.
Yeah, they were good back in the day, mine, don't get me wrong.
I could work on them, Tim. I could service them. I could do their brakes. They were pretty simple engines to work on. I had Mark 1s and Mark 2s that I could work on. Now I look in an engine and I think, what the holy fuck?
Yeah.
Where is the engine? It's a sealed compartment.
Yeah.
I don't know what's in there. You need special
Yeah.
keys to get into the compartment. It's like, fuck that. Don't know
Yeah.
cars
Yeah.
anymore.
Old school cars are better to work on than the new ones, definitely.
I used to look nothing more than, you know, servicing my brakes on a Sunday afternoon, or, you know.
Should get on with PP, Nicky. Get in touch with PP. He has the same problem when he opens a bonnet now. He goes, "What the fuck's that?"
Honestly, my daughter, my niece, you know who I mean. I never know what to call her really. But she came home with one of these minis, and she said to me one day, "Auntie Nicky, there's a rattle." And I went, "Oh, come on, I'll go and have a look." Anyway, I popped the thing and I went, "What the fuck's that?" It was all sealed. You could get your fucking hands down the side of the engine. So I said, "I'll get underneath it." I couldn't get underneath it. My head wouldn't fit. It was that low to the floor. And I just thought, what the fuck are they?
You seen that comment?
Needed a special spanner to get into it. Special screwdriver, didn't have it. And I am tool mad. Trust me, boys, I am a boy in a girl's body.
Look at that comment off That Fly.
Let's have a look.
Seen any copies of Razzles, mate? I don't know who he's speaking to, right? This is a true story, right? I've never told no one this, but I told my brother. Do you know, when I was in jail, obviously a man in jail, you can get porn mags off the canteen, yeah?
Can you?
Sorry to be a bit rude here, Nicky. A bit crude.
But can you? Honestly,
Yeah, you can buy. You can get sent in from the local news agent and stuff like that. You can. And anyway, listen to this. I was flicking through this fucking. It was a Razzle as well. Flicking through this Razzle one day, and my ex-girlfriend was only in there, fucking stark bollock naked, posing.
No.
I swear to God. I swear to God. No word of a lie.
That's mad, that, isn't it?
I was gutted. I lost my virginity to her.
Did you still fancy her though? That was the different thing, innit?
Did you go around telling all the lads like Dave? Did you go around saying, "I used to go with her, I used to go with her"?
No, did I fuck, mate?
No, one way or the other, wasn't it?
I swear on my kids' life, that's no word of a lie. Fucking mental.
Quality up there.
That's funny.
But how mad was it that it had to be that magazine that I looked through and noticed her?
I know.
Razzle's one of the original ones, isn't it? You know what I mean? Original top shelf for that.
About 5 years ago, lads, I lent a mate, my best mate, 25 years, best mate. Always had me doubts about her. She had a funny, bloody sharp, funny edge. But I knew that she had the funny edge and could work with it. 25 years, mates. I lend her a car and I say, "I tell you what, I'll sign over logbook." I said, "And then you can get taxed and insured way much easier saying it's your car." "Yeah, no problem, no problem." I started to come home and look after my mum. And I'm looking through Facebook Marketplace one day and somebody says, "Any cars under £1,000, bit of MOT, bit of tax." And there's my best mate selling me fucking car. Yeah, I've got a blue Peugeot 304. And I'm like, "That's my fucking car." Try to sell me fucking car, my best mate. And I rang her and I said, "What are you doing?" She said, "Well, logbook's in my name, innit?" 25 fucking years.
Very good.
Yes.
Does anyone else think this is a fallacy, right? So you know when you say you go to buy your car, right? And in the description of the car it says one lady owner, right? Is that supposed to make you want to buy the car more, right?
Yeah.
Straight away. That means the gearboxes fucked straight away, doesn't it?
No, honestly, no. Up here, if it says one lady owner, I can guarantee you there's 50 people on that, because it does mean that people live in villages here and they just need a car to go from like 3 miles a day to the next village to get meat, or 3 miles to that village to the grocery shop. So they just need a car to go 3 miles.
Or another one is if you buy a ex-Reps car, their gearbox is really, really good, and the engine is always kept
Absolutely. I've done
maintained.
that before today, Steve. I've had
Because they always do
cars
motorway
with
driving.
180 or 200,000 on the clock, X cars, because you know they're getting serviced once every 6 weeks. You know there's nothing wrong with these cars.
So what about an
Absolutely
ex-police
nothing.
car then? What about an ex-police car?
Well, you know that's been screwed.
Again, you would know the service history. It gets serviced once
But
every
it's still
day.
had the arse ragged out of it. Still had the arse ragged out of it, hasn't it?
Every part will have been changed though over the time.
I'd stay away from them.
Car, I'd buy an ambulance. Yeah, buy any of the emergency services. Can't see myself with a fire engine nowadays, but once upon a time I could have done. I'm a right bit of an old motorhead. I know about cars, but back then I wouldn't have a clue about cars now. Wouldn't have a clue. What's that thing that that Cesspits just got a couple of months ago? What is it?
A Lamborghini.
Europe.
Opteus or something, isn't it?
A what?
Is it an Opteus or something? You called it.
I have no idea. When he was saying it and they were all going, "Oh, look at you in your fancy car," and I'm thinking, well, what is it? I have no idea. It doesn't impress me at all. Show me somebody driving around in a Mark 1 Escort and my little eyes will light up and I'll think, boy's got a bit of class.
Yeah, you don't see them on the roads now really much, do
you? You don't.
But they're for fun, and when you get a car like that now, it's not what's the word? It's not like
I've never bought a car.
Economical, is it? Or
I've never bought a car on finance. So I'm echoing now.
Well, who's done that?
Dave, I'm echoing on your end. I'm talking and you're lighting up.
Stay there, guys. I'll go off and on.
Oh, that was a bit weird.
Oh, did someone open another window there or something like?
Don't know. That was really weird. I was talking and he was, I call it throbbing me. You know when it flashes up.
Oh, did anyone see Tim? Did you watch Expos last night? He had 5 headlights on last night. I was dying to say something.
It's awful, didn't it?
I was dying to say something. You know why, Tim? Because Expo always leaves comments up, so you didn't have a clue who was on his panel.
No.
That was a bit of a... I don't know whether you've talked about it, lads, but that was a bit of a witch hunt, wasn't it?
We've just been on about it there. Like, it's one of them you'd go on all day about it, couldn't you? You know what I mean? But
a lot of those, I have to say, in his defence, and I'm not saying he has or he hasn't skimmed a bit off the top, but I have to say in his defence, even though I don't want to because I saw a comment the other day telling me I was a dog nonce and saying something about me on one of his lives, and I just thought, well, that's the last time I fucking donate to you.
I brought that up, Nicky. I brought that up yesterday. Did you not hear? No. I said I was surprised at that because there was a few people in the chat saying, "Is that the real film boy?" Weren't there?
Even I said, "Is that the real film boy?" And it was.
I was shocked at that. Like, I must admit,
on somebody's channel, I heard him say, "Oh, that live follower, yeah, she's got a bit of history," and I thought, "Where's that come from?" You didn't mind me donating to the Fight Club. You didn't mind me donating to your homeless thing. So bearing that in mind, I do have to say that some of those donations specifically were for Matty or his daughter. They were given.
He's given
for you, Matty, not for the homeless. This is for you.
Well, Matty's given it to Fight an Irish, hasn't he, to put out? So. Yeah, because he's away, isn't he?
I seen that one about 1 o'clock this morning on Fight Irish's channel. It must have been a reaction to like what he did on Expos. He just did a little.
Expos, but every time I scanned through it.
If anyone thinks he's in Switzerland, they need to give their head a fucking wobble.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Is he?
Yeah.
He's what? Listen, what I can say about Matty is that he has a very, very delicate way of. I don't want to say supporting, encouraging the less. Give me a word, guys. The less Then people who look up to him, then people who think he's a bit of a celebrity. He has a way of manipulating them in a very covert way. And I hate it when he does it. He does it with Sean. He does it with Tracy. He did it with Gambino. I've seen him do it with lots and lots and lots of people. Astrid. Yeah, I can list them off. I can see what he does. And I think I don't like that about you. I don't like that. Because you're making them feel really important when in fact you don't think they're important at all. And it really can quite upset my little heart when I see him do it.
Has anyone ever thought that this beef going on between them is all fucking made up between them and they're just playing the fucking letters?
Do you know what, Dave? I've been thinking that for a while now. If
it is, it's gone too far. If it is, hasn't it? It's gone too far. When you're talking about charities and stuff, you know what I mean? I know.
Yeah.
It's always money. It's always when money's involved.
Whether he's my other example of something like that is Gamer's done what he's done with his mum. No excuses whatsoever. And whether I like him or loathe him, it doesn't matter. But nobody goes on at Danny Christie for what he's done to his mother, which was 100 times worse. And nobody says, "You fucking bastard." Doesn't go. Andrew wouldn't dare get on alive with Danny Christie and say, "Yeah, but I didn't go to prison for beating my mum, did I? I didn't go to prison to beat my mum, did I?" He just wouldn't, and that's what annoys me.
And I think it's because Danny Christie, he's kept away from this side of YouTube, hasn't he?
He's drawing himself back in a little bit, though. Do you not think?
I just think there's a lot of people.
I'm not over Danny Christie at all. He sat last night, and I kept thinking my opinion on this will be so brutal that I won't give it. I still think Danny Christie is a very violent man. And then yesterday, I think he put a video out, and he's got a T-shirt on saying "violence something." Now, why would anybody, if you're not violent or you don't approve of violence, why would you wear a T-shirt saying?
Well, he is violent, Nick. He's a bare knuckle boxer. That's what he does, isn't it? But he's channeling it now, isn't he? He's doing it in the right way in the ring. But I know what you're getting at. But if you're violent, the best thing you can do is channel it into a bare knuckle boxing association, isn't it? Rather than doing it the other way on the street or whatever. He is violent in his nature.
Yeah. There is a lot of people like saying that, but give me the proof, then you're happy with the proof.
I did read up about Danny Christie. He'd gone round there in a rage, and because he found out his mother had got his kids and was maintaining a relationship. She hid the kids. He came round in a rage, this is his own words, a drunken, drug-fueled rage, and wanted his kids back. Any good woman with kids would not hand those kids off to a drunken, violent mess on the doorstep, screaming and shouting, right? He then forwarded and proceeded to punch his mum in the face for protecting his own kids. There you go. That's his story.
But
that's how he says it.
I'm not sticking up to him, but if he has done that, then he's an animal. But there's no evidence of that, is there?
Yeah, by his own story.
Only because
listen to
I watched the podcast. podcast.
Maggie, that's a good comment, that, because that's what I'm thinking. Like, that's why I said the two people in the chat who I knew had donated, how do they feel about it? And they're happy with it, so that's all that matters. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I say, I can't say I'm Matty's best friend at the moment. I'm not in the slightest, because I've just heard a couple of things over the last couple of days, and it's really niggling me. But a lot of those donations that certainly came in on the night, the 2 nights he went out, were for him specifically and not for the charity. I will say that, because I was watching it, and I was watching it specifically for that, thinking, I'm sort of totting up how much in my head you're sort
but
of...
he did say he's going back out at the end of
January, yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't know how people who A, haven't donated, or B, have sat on their arse and let somebody else do it. Yet they'll big up Tony Birkstead for going out and doing his bit. Yeah, they downgrade somebody that they don't like. So is it a setup? I don't know.
Yeah.
Or is it who's harder than who? I just find Expose's channel a very criminally minded channel, basically, overall.
You know what? I bet there was a lot of people last night with opinions of watching Expos who just wouldn't dare comment because you know that, like,
Yeah, exactly.
if you don't agree with it, you're going to get chopped down, and that's just the way it is. You know what I mean? So
when they rile, they don't start bantering like. I don't know, your fucking dog nonce or whatever. They actually start saying, do you want to get fucking holes in your head? Do you want to get kidnapped and put in the boot? It's like, fuck me. That's out of my fucking realm, mate. It's out of my, you know, don't get me wrong, I'm extraordinary streetwise. But that's outside my spectrum. Pop, bang, and fucking car boots and tied up. And...
But when they say, like, put one in the chat for so-and-so, put two in the chat, that channel's going to get the majority anyway.
Of course it is.
It's on there.
They're never going to go against him.
No.
It's
like any channel, isn't it?
Right, does Expo talk with a gobstopper in his mouth? Has anyone thought of this, or a bit of cotton wool? You know, like, if you want to sound like Al Capone, you put cotton wool in your... You know, what's going on there?
not a clue.
Or cotton wool, because that is not a real voice.
I have heard there is somebody else on YouTube who's got the same sort of Scouse twang as Expo. You know, when he says "hey" after everything, like "hey." I've heard one other person like that. Can't think of who it is though.
I don't deny he's a Scouser, but that is either a mouthful of false teeth and he's not got used to them, or it's somebody else's false teeth. Thinking of that. I don't know, a gobstopper. But I don't know anyway. But yeah, overall, generally, I think I've never commented in Expos. I get timed out anyway. As soon as look at me, I only have to put an eye in there, the symbol of an eye, and I get blocked. So yeah. I don't. I scan it in the morning if he's been on. I scan through it to see if there's anything interesting. And no, I don't. I really don't like that. But I'm unsubbing from so many people. Did you hear the jobby I had with Andrew bloody J the other day?
I watched Andrew J yesterday or whatever he was on. What did you do like?
They were going on about how they were all getting it.
And I agree, he shouldn't have kicked you off. I must admit that. And the way he spoke to you was a bit, that was wrong.
Horrible. Yeah. And I just came in, everyone was coming in and talking about mothers, and Gamer was just getting more and more wound up. And I just thought, I'll just come in a completely different angle, not personal. I'll come in with a sort of professional sort of opinion. And it was before I'd mentioned his mum and dad. I said about 95% of the children that I got through my doors, it was the mother, it was the woman, it was the mother that had got those children removed because she wouldn't comply with either having a paedophile as a boyfriend or drinking drugs or what whole range of problems that they never chose to address, and their children have been removed, right? And he was saying 95 fucking percent. I said, well, I'm telling you from experience, I can't do any more than that. You know, that's my job. If you're a mechanic, you know about cars. If you're a disturbed kid, I know about disturbed kids. So,
I watched that. Yeah,
that's my gig.
But he lagged you over.
Then they were trying to give each other advice, and I said, I'm sorry, guys, but you're both opposite each other. You both look homeless, yet you've got roofs over your head. Your houses are minging, right? Your attitudes are minging, and you fucking need a good bath to pair you. And he said, don't you bring... I said, what have you ever done, Andrew, to repay your parents? You've been an alcoholic for 20 years. Well, then he lost it. I was every cunt and fucking shit and don't mention my mum. But you're all right mentioning Gamer's mum. So I go in with a very fair but firm opinion, and it's not like, because actually people don't like the truth. A fair opinion of the truth. He can't go at Gamer, to go back to his mum, when he has admitted himself that for 20 years, that puts him at 16, he has been an alcoholic. He has been homeless and a street drinker by his own admission, right? He's got a flat. He's put a roof over his head. He's made no effort in that flat since he moved in by his own admission, right? So what's he done to repay his parents? That's all I was simply saying. Why should Gamer have to repay his mum just because a woman gives birth to a child? Does not make that woman a mother. Okay?
The thing is with the Andrew J thing, we all know everything we need to know about Andrew J and Gamer and that. So it's just going over all ground again, isn't it? So when you watch Andrew J,
I'm trying to say, just cut it out with the fucking. I used to say I liked Andrew up until he had his 5th or 6th can, and then he was out my league. I never.
Because he's a nice guy when he's not drinking, but everyone is, isn't they? You know, they can too.
Absolutely.
But you know,
if you know you're a wanker over 6 pints, then why drink more than 6 pints?
It's sad to see him being like that on the live.
Because honestly, Tim, I know he's a very good friend of yours. That's
well, he's not a good friend. I just only know him from YouTube.
His is so bad. He sits in the same position on a very unhealthy chair that's got 2 holes in and the bars are going through. He doesn't move his legs. That psoriasis is going to break open and they're going to become wounds. Those wounds are going to become infected. That infection is going to be sepsis.
Yeah.
And, you know, I can see right through the pack of cards. I can flick the pack of cards and I can think, my God, Andrew, at least it was one of those little, my mum's used to have one, you know, a little pedal thing that you just put at your feet and just move it round and just keep your circulation going. He doesn't bathe them, he doesn't cream them, he doesn't take the steroids, he doesn't do anything to look after himself. And I can see further down the line.
Well, I can't see him making the end of this year if he carries on.
That's what's going to happen. It's going to take something like that to stop Andrew, isn't it?
Yeah,
well, I said to him the other day in Cesspits, I said, Andrew, would you like me to make a self-referral for you on your behalf to Adult Social Services? I'm quite happy to do that because I know what I'm talking about, sort of thing, and I know what I'm dealing with. And Film Boy screamed, don't be making no bloody myth. I said, hang on, I was asking Andrew, you know, does he want me to ring his doctor? Does he want me to, you know, he's asking and screaming for help and nobody's saying I'll actually do something. So I said, I'm happy to get in touch with you behind closed doors. This was just before I went on live. And make those phone calls. I know how hard they are. So I'll make them for you.
Well, I'm going to step in here because I've said my bit to Andrew. To be honest, he don't want to know. So
he doesn't.
No.
I think we'll change the subject. He's a fool to himself.
But yes, I totally agree. He doesn't want the help.
He doesn't want the help. The fool to himself. Everyone keeps telling him he don't want to listen. So this year you will see the downfall of Andrew J, unfortunately, and it'll all unfold.
I think one way or another we'll see the downfall. Yeah, I do.
Well, that's what I mean, though, Dave. You're not going to learn by watching Andrew J live. You're not going to learn anything more about Andrew. You're not going to learn anything more about Gamer. We already know everything. So why are we watching it? Because it's going to kick off. And everyone knows it's going to kick off about something. But he's getting 200 people in.
I know.
And that's only going to encourage him, isn't it?
Come on,
you know what I mean?
Every single person, even though we say we don't like drama, what does the BBC and ITV and Netflix produce? Dramas. Why do we watch them? Because we like them. Because they stimulate our belly and they make us go, ooh, and ah, and oh, no. Because that's what we like. We don't watch the ballet. We don't, boys. We don't watch the fucking ballet. We watch something that's a bit brutal. And I watch true crime endlessly. True crime stories. And I'm obsessed with them. The gorier they are, It's like, ooh, and we do like car crash TV and drama. And if you don't ever think that it makes numbers, then you're out the game. And that's why Exposure and Cesspit have got the numbers they've got, because it's drama. You're waiting, you're bated breath. Who's going to come on the channel? Who's going to slip up? Who's going to do what? Who's going to take it the wrong way? You do.
Here at one point,
We're just not honest about it. I'm honest about it. I do watch
at one point yesterday, I think Andrew had more people in than the Cesspit did.
He did. I saw that.
He had like a few hundred. But definitely more than Film Boys, because I remember I flicked over and had a look, and I was thinking, fucking hell.
But I would rather.
They just follow the drama, didn't they?
I would rather come on a channel where I can, at least somebody's reading the comments, and not just picking out a comment, somebody who's back and forth in, somebody who's having a good live on the panel, and the conversation and the thing is going nice. And it's nice to spend a couple of hours like that. It's like, oh.
Cheers for coming in, Mags. Take care, darling.
Yeah, too. Nice one, Maggie.
I'll have a look into my
I
settings.
don't expect it when Dave's on channel, because I think if it did kick off, he'd take control of his panel and bring it down to, you know, how it should be, and either move through it or get them off. Simple. So there's certain channels I can go to where I know that that's not going to happen, where I know it's not going to all blitz up.
Yeah.
And there's some channels where you go where you're waiting for it.
Yeah. Well, that's it. There's Dave's a perfect example. He gets radged in that, you know what I mean? But he never raises his voice, you know what I mean?
Having a point and being passionate. I've seen Dave lose it, a couple of times, but that's a couple of times in maybe a year and a half I've been around.
Mm.
It's taking somebody holistically and looking, is Dave the person I think he is, or is he that little bit of somebody that I've seen? Well, I think Dave holistically.
With that gap on the Cesspit.
Pardon?
The only time I've lost it is with that gap.
Yeah.
On the
Yeah.
I can understand that at the time, but look at the payback that Garth has ended up getting. Look at the payback. I used to think that guy is going to have a heart attack. That guy, when he was screaming down the phone, and I can visualize what people are doing when they're doing that. And I'm thinking, that guy's going to have a fucking heart attack, man. The man's 50. I have to lose my temper for about 2 minutes, and I'm exhausted for 2 days. I thought, this guy's got... And hey, presto, look what happened. The man had a fucking heart attack.
He's a one for you then. What do you think about Jaggy Thistle getting back on panels? Creeping back on there, and he's creeping back on.
For somebody, I have seen more penises on YouTube than I have in my life, boys. Bear in mind, I'm a gay woman. Jaggy's was a very poor example of a penis. Right? A very poor example. In fact, I think it's probably... Oh, no, I have seen one that was like a mushroom before. That was a very poor example. But that was a very poor example of a penis. As for the playing
like a mushroom.
As for the playing with it, if that was done in real life, that... Well, what, Dave? What are you laughing at? What moon?
No, just I heard that saying quite a lot. It looks like a button mushroom.
Yeah, honestly, I've seen a button mushroom penis. I promise you, Dave, I have seen a button mushroom penis.
Oh, fucking
Ministry, I totally agree with you. Jim's just winding me up. He's taking the piss.
But honestly, as for the playing with it, that goes from still picture to actually, if you saw that in the park and you had your kid with you, Dave, that's indecent exposure, and you'd have annihilated the man and hung, drawn and quartered him and dragged him to the police station. So for me, that went to a different level. it was the same as PD. He got his own dick out right there, loud and proud. How you think to 200 people that's amusing is beyond me. Beyond me.
Well, I've actually blocked him from my channel anyway. So
I
Well,
wouldn't have
Tim,
him.
you'll have seen him popping up on a few panels, haven't you, Tim?
I've seen him popping up,
Yeah.
and each channel is going to make their own mind up about him. They're either going to give. He's apologised. He's apologised profusely. I've made a mistake. I'm owning it. Fair enough.
I always thought he was all right until that night. And if he
And
can
then,
do
no,
that, then
would I have him on a live with me? No, because no, I wouldn't. Because he's done it, hasn't he? Once you've done something, you can't. Actually, it doesn't matter how many times you say sorry. You can't.
But the
take
thing
it
is,
back.
with these porn bombers, it's all pictures, isn't it? But his was actually,
Yeah.
and that's a bit.
That's it. That's it, Dave. Turn it up the other way. Turn it like it's got a lob on. That's the one, lad. That's the one. That
Yeah, but it
very
resulted.
similar to the one I saw, Dave.
It sort of resulted in Shuffling losing his channel, or didn't it? In a roundabout way.
Oh, bless Shuffling's little cotton heart.
Oh God, I haven't started something else on that.
Well, honestly, that man is going to kill himself. Does nobody see that he is a binge drinker that's going to kill himself? Honestly.
Who?
He stopped smoking, Shuffs. He's packed the
He has
fags
stopped
in.
smoking, and he's actually he's stopped drinking.
Yeah,
today.
man. Big up, Shuffs, lad. Big up.
So I am.
Yeah,
I get
I do.
worried. I know that the boy doesn't have his parents around in his life, God bless him, right? I get worried as an older woman when I see somebody damaging themselves, right? I get worried, naturally worried for them. And I think he admitted this morning that he's had over 10 litres of gin and vodka in 7 days. Now, if people don't think that was for him, that's your problem. It's not for me, and I can't encourage it. I can't.
It's called conversation, Jim. When you do a live next time, if you ever do one, like, you know what I mean?
Who, me?
No, I'm talking to Jim.
Oh, right.
Taking the piss out of me, ripping us in the chat here.
Right, anyway, I'm going to jump off anyway. Cheers, Smithers.
All right.
Yeah.
Ciao, Jim.
Bye, all.
Jim.
Jumping
Tim.
on, mate.
Later.
Nice one.
Big love, mate.
I'm just waiting for what date is it today? My grandson comes into the world in 4 weeks.
4 weeks. Wow. Well,
Fucking baby shower this week. I've had to buy new clothes. Fucking hate buying clothes, me. Hate it. Absolutely hate it.
what do you normally do, like Nicky Pinson?
Yeah, off the washing line next fucking door. No. I generally just fucking go around the charity shops. I have a day round charity shops. Pick myself up a couple of pairs of jeans, a few t-shirts, and that's because I don't go out at night time. So all my dressy clothes that I used to have, well, I've probably grown out of and they've gone. And I was looking, I was thinking, I'm going to this bloody baby shower. And they're a bit like a christening type thing. You've got to all dress up. And I'm thinking, oh, for fuck's sake. Fucking hell. Anyway.
It's an American thing, that them baby showers, aren't they?
Oh, I know. But she's never had, she's not got engaged or got married yet. Been together 6 years and lived together for 5. So it's one of them things where we're going a little bit all out. Because she hasn't got any parents either, you know what I mean? She hasn't got a mum or dad. She's got a mum, but she's not worth the paper she's written on.
Yeah.
She lives about 10 miles away. Couldn't give 2 flying fucks. Still a drinker, still an alcoholic, still a drug user, still a heroin addict, you know? So this is, I can quite happily say mums aren't what they're all cracked up to be. You know? I had to bring her kids up. Not her, not the mother. She couldn't give 2 flying fucks. And if I didn't give 2 flying fucks, they'd have been brought up in care.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a bit go-y all outy to make a fuss, really.
The main man's in the chat. Chris the Trowel's in the chat.
Oh, not Chris the Brick. Oh, God, is he awake? Oh, dear. Chris, if you just slowed down and got off the speed, mate, you'd be all right. You're actually not a bad lad, but you're just a very strange lad. I get that, but weed isn't doing you any favours, mate. And don't tell me you're not on it, because you are. Anyway, I'm going to dip out at that point. So thanks for having me on, Dave.
Not a problem, Nikki. You
Thanks,
take care.
Nikki.
Yeah, cheers, Moon.
Treat yourself.
Bye-bye.
What, Jim, I'm going to rip you, mate, next time I do a live, mate, believe me. Taking the piss out of beans on toast.
What's wrong with skinheads on a raft?
Exactly. This is somebody who eats from garages, you know, motorway garages, yeah, Costa Coffee, McDonald's, and hotels. He's obviously bored. He's just that can, you know. I can even picture.
You can afford to, mate.
I can even picture Jim, you know, like when he's sat there, like his feet are tapping away while he's writing things and laughing to himself and that.
Oh, Chris the Brick was in the back then. He's gone.
This could be Chris's first panel of a long day for him.
Jump back on, Chris. The links.
Usually starts on the chilled out ones, works his way up. He likes to come on down and have a chat for like a few hours before he lets go. You know what I mean?
You might know this one, Fly. Slim keeps saying, yeah, in the chat that he's having to approve messages that have got like no swearing on.
Oh yeah, yeah. I don't know what setting it is. Yeah, it's on a few other people's as well. I don't know what the setting is, Dave. I'll get back here on it though. If you don't suss it out, I'll have a look.
Yeah, because he said it in the last live I did as well, and I've totally forgot how to look into it. Before within 5 minutes.
Look at Chris's comment. He's fucking mad. Best one ever the other night, right? When Chris was sat in his car, and I thought he just nipped the car or something. 2 hours later, he's still on the panel. I said, "Are you still sat in your car?" He put his camera on. He's still sat in his car. His wife was bringing him sandwiches out and that.
Hot water bottle and everything.
The best thing was, Dave, he was sat in the fucking driver's seat. You would have thought he'd sat in the back where he could put his legs out and that, you know what I mean?
Alright.
I think he was just pretending he could drive though.
Good afternoon, gentlemen.
Yes, yes, that.
What happened there? What did that woman fucking despise me for?
All right. You were not in the minority, mate. Nikki. If Nikki likes you, you're in the minority. Put it that way. She just speaks her mind, doesn't she? I don't know why though, mate. I don't know why.
Listen, Dad, I do know I've got fuck all at that woman, and what I've got nothing against that woman, Moon. You know that, bud. I'm sure you know that, Dave. It's one of them ones. I mean, just cause she sold some dodgy speed once, you know what I mean? She still fucking hasn't paid us back yet. You know, that's her problem.
Madness. What have you been having? Is this your first panel today, mate?
It is, mate. I wasn't even on YouTube yesterday. I'm off till the 9th, Moon, so it's a couple of more headaches for me. Do you know?
Yeah.
What's the weather like now?
Pissing doing, Dave. Pissing doing, mate.
No work for you then?
No, I'm back on the 9th, bud. I gone back on the 9th, mate. I'm off until then. I've got to have quite a little bit since when did I have off? A week or so before Christmas, but I'm looking forward to it, Dave, mate. Moon, honestly, I fucking can't stand being off graft too long, you know, if I can help it.
Yeah.
My first day back today lasted till dinner time and got sent home. No wood.
What?
Can't make no.
No, Dave. Hey, I tell you what. If anybody hasn't seen fucking Dave knock them panels up, it's like he does it in his fucking sleep. Honestly, the music as well, Dave. That must keep you going. But you know that technique you've got, mate. You know, obviously you enjoy your job, don't you, Dave?
Yeah, I love my job, mate. Love my job.
Good man. That's fucking most of the battle. Most of the battle, mate. It is.
Do you know why? Do you know why, Chris? Because I've been doing it that long now. Like you just said, it comes second nature. It's easy to me. Do you know what I mean? Even though it's a lot of lugging wood about, and it's second nature now. So I just find it easy.
It is, mate. It is, and you make it look easy, Dave. You do, honestly, bud. But you know, on that note, lads, because I've got the Ben in the sitting room where was writing. I only jumped on quickly just to say hello to you, lads, right? But I'm not gonna bless you with the odd whinging that he'll do. It is because he wants us to build Lego and shit. You know, as a dad, what I've realised is you have to engage with your children. I mean, I was never told that when I fucking participated in the birth process.
Yeah, you'll be good at Lego though, Chris, won't you? That's what everyone says, mate.
No, I'm actually not. You know, I'm not. I'm not. Definitely not. Look, I'm good at following instructions, right? To build stuff, but like if I'm building something that's on it, you know, like a box of Lego that's got you know, something to build and instructions, I could do that no bother. But it's an architect's job that builds something from nothing. They're the ones with the real talent, the real skill. I mean, they couldn't build the house itself, you know what I mean? But they've got a fucking brain. So I'll leave that to my youngest son, and my God, he's fucking 9 years old and he's smashing at his fucking Star Wars Lego at the minute, like.
I've done all them, like, I've gone through that, like, with my son years ago, like, all the mad now, though, and some of the things you can get with Lego now. Fucking hell.
Crazy, mate, crazy. Boys, on that note, right, I'm going to dive off, right, boys. I love you, leavers. I'll try and jump back on when I get a bit of peace. But look here, I'm going to be doing a video in my loft, right, later on, because I've got my records up there. So I'm going to record it and put them up. I'll probably be up there at about 6, yeah, because I'll be reminiscing that much, lads. Old school trance, Dave. You'll fucking love it, boy.
Yeah, boy.
Thanks,
I'll see you later, lads and lasses. Everyone in the chat, mass respect, right? I didn't get the engagement up, right, but honestly, love yous all, right? I love yous and leave yous. Moon, Dave, respect, boys.
Take care.
Quality, innit, Chris? Like,
more feeders, mate.
We were all there the first night he came on. Well, the first night he introduced himself to us was on Darrell's, I think. It was me, Darrell, Jim. I don't know if you were there, Jim.
I think I was, mate, yeah.
Yes. I think he'd been on a couple of other panels, but it was the first time he'd been on Darrell's. Yeah, I like Chris, man. He's quality.
Is old Daz alive tonight?
He was in the chat there, wasn't he?
I think he's in and out, mate.
He'd still be smarting after Liverpool got dumped last night, didn't they?
I called it, mate. I called it. Did you not see my comments?
Just the ones taking the piss. That's all the ones I seen. I didn't see any predictions.
No, I didn't predict. I just said they'd lose. They got mauled, mate. Didn't you watch it?
I watched the game, yeah. Yeah, they did, man, when he misallowed. How would he disallow goals? Was it? That's spoiling the game, that.
Do you know that? Is it Nunes for Liverpool?
Good
player, bags of energy, can't finish for shit, mate.
Oh, no, yeah, it's
shit. All that money they paid for him as well.
Yeah.
There's a difference between somebody like that and Haaland, mate. Do you know what I mean? Look, he's fucking top scorer in the Prem by something like 14 goals already.
When you think about it, though, Dave, don't you think that the World Cup's had something to do with that? Because I can't see Brentford having many players who were at the World Cup, you know what I mean? Whereas Liverpool... Did they?
Yeah, I'm sure they had a few.
Yeah, I think it was a good time to play Liverpool, I think, this week, even for Brentford, because every game for any team that's come up is like a FA Cup final, you know, especially at the start of the season. You don't want to play any of the teams that have come up, you don't, because they're all up for it, you know what I mean?
There's someone from your way up there in the chat, look. Big up,
yes, Lordy. Up the Borough, Lordy. Good win for the Borough last night. Smashing it, us.
Mate, you're minute, aren't you? Absolutely on fire.
We're up to 5th at the minute. She was scoring goals, man.
For me, he was
Scoring
fucking 4
goals.
foot bottom a few weeks ago, weren't you?
Yeah.
Wow.
I was looking at the point situation, though. I mean, Thingy run away with it, and there's a Burnley who run away with it. They're going to take one of the spots, I think, but second spot's up for takes, I think.
We had Ipswich at home yesterday. Went down to 10 men in the 46th minute. Went 1-0 up in the 56th minute, and then they equalised in the fucking last 10 minutes. Finished 1-0.
Well, yeah, Lordy's a Borough lad. Like, I bet him at Nutters bonfire night. Funny as fuck, him, like. Lordy, did you see Tobbs on Steve Farman this morning? I think you did. I think I seen Lordy in the chat.
You know, that 2 hours has flown by.
So what would you have been doing this afternoon, Dave, if you didn't do this?
Well, to be fair, the kids don't go back tomorrow, so they're up at the mother-in-law's. She has them while me and the wife are at work. Really, I should have told her straight away I was back, so she could have brought them back, but I've jumped on a live instead. Well, it's quiet, and then when I come off this, mate, I'll message you and say that I'm back.
So what about Bear? Does Bear know what time you normally get in then? Does he know what time we expect you in? Isn't he a bit surprised when you get in early in there?
Yeah, but he knows. He must know the exact sound of the car doors and everything, because when the wife pulls up and we're in the kitchen, he jumps up at the side. And he just knows straight away, mate, that she's back, and then he'll be at the door. 2 years old now, but he still acts like a puppy.
I know my mother had a dog, you know, that she swore down that the dog knew it was more like a human, you know, that's how she had it. And like, it would sit there, it would know when she's going out to the bingo or whatever, and it would sit, our dad would say it would sit at the window right at the exact time when the dog knew that my mum was due in. I don't know.
Mate, he goes everywhere I go, literally. Look, I'm having a ciggy at the minute, yeah? I'll go in that door, no word of a lie, he'll be right behind this door waiting for me. And then I can go in the kitchen, he'll be behind me. I go in the downstairs toilet, say no one's here, and I'll go in the downstairs toilet and leave the door open a little bit. We've got a toilet under the stairs. He'll open the door with his nose and he'll come in and sit in the toilet with me, mate.
Oh, we've seen the pictures to prove it, Dave, haven't we?
I don't know whether it's just that breed of dog or what, but to me, he seems really, really clingy. Do you know what I mean? I don't know whether that's because he's been moved around fucking so much before we got him, or I don't know what it is, mate. But yeah, I've never had a dog like that, mate. Where everywhere you go, he's there at your heels, literally everywhere.
Yeah.
Or he could just be thankful knowing that he's got his forever home, mate. He could just be appreciative. Do you know what I mean? Loyal. Well, we know German Shepherds are loyal, don't we?
Yeah, 100%.
Man's best friend, definitely, mate. He's my best mate. Outside of work and fucking home, I don't do nothing. I don't socialise when I want to keep myself to myself and look after me and my family. And he is definitely my best mate, 100%. Not even a year yet.
A year in when? March?
March, yeah, in March.
Does he have a good, you know, when you let him off the lead in that, Dave? Does he like leg it? Does he chase after balls and stuff? Is he like, or is he just trotter about?
Do you know the first when I went on the Facebook page, the rehoming place, and he was the first dog that I saw. In the picture that was there then, he was off the lead in some big field, and he had another little dog sat next to him. So that said to me straight away that he can be let off the lead and he's all right with other dogs, or he could be all right with other dogs.
Yeah.
And I tested the theory as soon as we got him about letting him off the lead. And no, he just ran, mate, come back, did that a few times. And now I just let him off the lead and he just goes and does what he wants, mate, within reason.
I used to love that with my dog. Like, he used to love it. You know them things where you throw the ball. They're like a long bent bit of plastic with the ball holder in, and you can throw the ball miles. they're in loads of shops now. They're only about £1. It's just like a big plastic handle with a ball thing in the end.
You fling it and then you can pick it up
Yeah.
a bit as well, can't you?
Yeah, I used to love doing that. Like, I used to love seeing me dog. Now better than seeing a dog at full pelt, like chasing after a ball. You know what I mean?
Mate, he sounds like a fucking horse when he runs. He gallops like a horse. Because he's so big.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's just like it with me, this. Just me he's like it with. It's strange.
Yeah, I like dogs, mate. I mean, they reckon dogs can sense fear and that, don't they? You know, in people. I've never been scared of a dog in my life. Like, I could go into anyone's house and the dog will just come to us.
What did I say?
Yeah, the amount of times where people say, "Fuck, now my dog that dog doesn't go to anyone," and I'm sat there stroking it and that. I think there is some truth in that, like what dogs can sense fear and stuff. There he is. You got any more solutions for the dog hairs yet, Dave? Or he just plodding along hoovering every 2 hours?
Twice a day we have to hoover, once in the morning and once at night. I've got to do it in a minute, yeah?
Mm.
Let's see. Oh, I'll show you. This is how bad it gets, yeah? You won't believe this, Fly. Watch this. See the floor there, yeah?
Yep.
We've only got carpet in the hallway, yeah? Put laminate in there. Watch me. This was hoovered this morning before we went to work. You watch this, look. That's just
it's never ending, is it? It's never ending, man.
That's just 2 swipes of the carpet, mate, with my foot. Do you know if you do it all the way along, you get big handfuls of it up? It's fucking mad.
It's like you could brush them for an hour, couldn't you? But they still don't look any different, and they still don't look like anything's been done to them. But you've got like a ton of hair off them. They should be bald.
He's a long-haired German Shepherd as well, so it's looking even worse for him. Look at that, look.
Yeah.
Big knots of it.
It's an ongoing battle, isn't it, man? No. I know, like the Hoover I've got, one of them. It's supposed to be a dog one, you know, like especially for pet hairs and stuff. But they're no different. It's no different, man.
No, well, Nicky put me onto something. It's like an attachment, what you put on the end of the Hoover, but it's for your dog.
Yeah.
It's got like a little clip on it, and once you've brushed it over him a few times, you press this clip, and it pushes all the hair forward so you can pull it out.
Yeah.
Quite clever. Can you fucking hit your head?
You are?
Listen to this. This is my 13-year-old daughter, yeah? This is what I have to listen to at home.
What's that, blasting the tunes?
Yeah, listen.
What music is it?
Hello?
You hear that?
Yeah. Yeah.
But since when do 13-year-olds listen to fucking stuff like that?
Yeah, taste will get better. Will get better. Factorification likes his drum and bass, like.
She loves it, mate. Do you know the hard stuff as well? Like the whoop, whoop.
So she hasn't got that off you, has she? You don't like drum and bass, do you?
Yeah.
No, here he is, showing his guard dogs off.
Hello, Jim.
Can I just say, people, that it is true that Jim actually got a car stolen, even with his 2 dogs, those guard dogs. Somebody still nicked his bloody car.
What happened?
When your guard dogs didn't do the job.
God dogs me ass.
Saying that, in the same breath, look at the size of Dave's dog, and he got his bloody shed broke into last week as well.
One's running around the garden in the rain, and the other one's asleep on the settee. They're getting so lazy, I gotta carry them to the toilet.
What are you having for tea, Jim? Beans on toast?
No, mate.
Didn't you like them beans on toast,
cheese, apparently.
Didn't you like me pictures of me beans on toast, like?
Come on, get in here, quick. No, it wasn't you, actually. It wasn't aimed at you. It was aimed at Matty last night.
Oh, yeah, seen that, yeah.
In his restaurant. Because he can't kill a lobster.
Never see the funny side of it, like Phil Boy. I do really fucking hell.
Hey.
Come on, get up here, quick. Oh, that was terrible. Jump. Say, get up.
You're not working, like, Jim.
What?
You're not working.
Yeah, I'm working from home. But the road tomorrow.
Yeah. Well, you're all over your COVID and everything now, then. Be back fully fit.
Yesterday, felt brilliant. What, 3 weeks of that crap?
I know, well, I've heard these little rumours, a few over the last few days, about lockdowns again. I'm like, what the fuck?
No lockdowns, mate. I don't know, so then.
No, I was thinking that myself. I was thinking, surely not.
Type it into Google. It shows you the figures. No, figures are very, very low. It's just people now getting ill through other things and all panicking because they haven't been ill for the last 3 years. You've been scared to get ill, haven't you? So don't forget, illness is half of it psychological. So over the last 3 years, people didn't want to say they're ill because of the other thing. But now everyone's just normal. They've just got flu and bronchitis and things like that.
Just a way of making everyone panic and fucking panic buy again.
Yeah, it's still out there, mate, but it's not to the extent it was. Just go and look. The figures are out there. The government produce the figures every single day. UK don't. They're on holiday. They start again this week. They stopped on the 20th of December, I think. But there's worldwide figures that show you it's on the rise, but it's in some countries, but not to the extent it was 2 years ago.
It's really bad in China, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, biggest population, isn't it? It's because there's so many people density living together in them countries, and it's like everything else, isn't it?
Yeah, I think they used their own test though, didn't they? They didn't go with the test that we use. I think they used the vaccination. They used their own vaccination, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah, well, the vaccinations have done the job, mate. I know people say they should. No, a lot of people disagree with it, but just go look at the amount of people who are passing away through it. No, it's done its job.
Yeah,
and still is. It still is. Yeah, you'll get a rise. You'll always get a rise in winter. And that'll happen. It happens every year, doesn't it? But not with just this one. Don't forget, this COVID has been around for years. It's been under different names. It's been SARS, MERS. It's all different variants of everything. It's just because now we travel around the world a lot more easy, a lot more faster. It can spread a lot more easier and faster. So some countries are putting restrictions on where people have to test, but there's no evidence out there that it's going to. There's not going to be no lockdown. Put it that way.
Can you remember in the early days, like when it first come out? Right? Can you remember them pictures of? I think it was in China or somewhere where the streets were just empty. There wasn't a single soul. Like some of the busiest capitals in the world, just not a single soul in sight. I mean, you're never going to see that ever again. You know what I mean?
No. So, world's changing, isn't it? To be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like everything's gearing towards us not having to leave the house for anything. That's the way I see it. It is.
Man,
It is. In the
I'll have to
Tesco
tell
next door to me. Tesco
someone
next door
saying
to me's
about that
closed.
machine to deliver shopping. Who was that?
Yeah.
JJ was it, earlier on.
Yeah, I haven't seen that. Like,
But that's how mad that is, isn't it? No, he's saying to the taxi driver, follow that machine. I want to see what. And that's, no, but you can imagine that, can't you? That's something I'd do. I'd follow it. I'd go, oh, no, what is that?
I've not seen one of them. Like,
You've seen them plastic like walk along things what the postman use. It's like a rectangle, red rectangle, isn't it? It's similar to one of them, Moon, but without the handle. It's just on wheels.
what is it?
It's weird.
Still hard to believe, though, isn't it?
I'd rather walk to the shop myself, like get some.
Where's it going? Is it on the pavement, like?
Yeah, it crossroads and everything. And if people
What
go
that-
near it, it speaks to them. If people get too close to it, it says something to them. Fucking weird. I sound crazy just talking about it, don't I? Ah.
They had car alarms like that, didn't they? They probably still do, where if you walk too close to them, it tells you to go, tells you to move away and that.
Mm.
Yeah, I could have done with one of
Did you get all that sorted then, Jim? Is that all
Yeah.
done and dusted now?
Yeah, it was not so good news. 2 nights ago, Boxing night, the house next door got robbed, got broken into.
Wow.
So it's and the same thing there. Got the keys through the letterbox.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Yeah, but they actually got into their house.
Jesus. So, yeah, the keys they got off yours had your house keys on, didn't they, Jim?
That's everything. Yeah.
You had to change the locks and everything. Like, yeah.
No, I got I had to. They come and actually decided they were going to take some fingerprints off the car.
Yeah.
Once obviously the house got done next door, and it got mentioned that my car had got done the same thing, and all of a sudden, no, they come. I said, yeah, they got my car back, and I said, but you just didn't want to do anything. Now they wanted to do fingerprints, so they've done that.
So did they get much from next door then? Did they get in and try to burgle it?
They didn't say, mate, but I'd imagine it's going to come to 30 or 40,000. They've got any fucking sense.
Yeah. All the brand new golf clubs that they had in there, the porchway and everything.
All the Christmas jewellery, the Rolex watch and everything.
On that note, does anyone want to buy any antique furniture?
I'm only joking.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
No. We laugh about it, but there's nothing worse than being burgled. Nothing worse.
That's what the girl was saying. It wasn't so much the stuff that got stolen, it was the condition they left the house.
Yeah, and knowing that somebody's been in your personal space that you don't know and you didn't want there, it's just, nah.
Yeah.
How do we get on with our neighbours? I know you, Dave, you have Chewy, our neighbours, don't you?
Yeah.
Is it still like that? You don't talk, do you?
Well, I've got one foreign neighbour who's fucking about 6'2", covered in tattoos, thinks he's Billy Big Balls, who put in a complaint about us because we had the dryer pipe hanging out the front window, and because of his sinuses and the way the wind was blowing from the dryer pipe, he couldn't sunbathe in his garden. So he put a complaint in. I soon sorted that fucker out. And then the woman next door's got 4 kids, single mum, lets the kids do what they want, jumping on the fence, just being fucking little pricks, yeah. So I talked to her about that. And when I was arguing with her one day, the neighbour the other side started fucking butting in, saying that I was fucking bullying fucking next door for fucking asking her to tell the kids to keep the noise down. Then her fella jumped in, so I had to jump on the fence and fucking tell him off of that cunt out. No one likes me around here, mate.
I'm just thinking whether it's better or worse to get a wee neighbours you get. There could be no worse than one of them neighbours, you know, who's always round and coming around for cups of tea and that.
No, not that.
But you do, it is good to get on with them though, isn't it? You know what I mean? At the end of the day.
Yeah, I get on with her next door now, who's got all the kids. I get on with her, but I don't speak to the other 2 fucking idiots. fucking putting a complaint. You're drying your fucking washing with a dryer pipe, using a dryer in your kitchen.
I remember that, yeah.
You fool. I said I should have just got a really big long dryer pipe, and next time he was sunbathing, go and chucked it over his fence. Oh, no. I think we've spoke about this before, haven't we? Because
Yeah.
Jim, you gave me a solution, didn't you? Was it go and put dog shit on his flower beds, if I'm not wrong?
I'm saying that, and I've changed, man.
Yeah, that was probably Jim's idea. That like I wouldn't do that or anyone.
That would have been a 2022 suggestion. I'm changed, man, in 2023.
That was like, yeah, I'll give you that one. You know what it is where I live? It's so enclosed and all the houses are cramped together that you go in your back garden and you've got about 10 houses overlooking your garden. You know, it's one of them little estates where they've just crammed everything in. Don't get me wrong, I don't mind living here, but I want to move. We said as soon as the kids get a bit older, the younger two get a bit older, we won't mind moving out of Lincoln somewhere to a bit quieter. Live that quiet life.
Yeah, it's a bit of a pain in the ass moving, like, and it's one of the biggest things you can do in it, really. It takes you weeks from actually going to see the house and picking one that you like. So it's everything that comes with it after that, all you know, the surveys and all that crap. It's just money in it, money.
Yep.
What time do you finish? What time do you finish, Jim?
5 o'clock.
Yeah.
What is it now? 10 to 4?
We were on about this the other day about working from home and that, like about. I think I was talking to Daryl about it because he works from home as well. Like I'd just get too comfortable, me. I'd start off my first week. I'd be getting up, having a shower, getting changed, going in another room, sat at a desk, and by about week 3, I'd just be having my laptop on the bed. You know, like, oh yeah, I'm not getting out of bed today. Just do my work from bed.
It's I don't really like working from home, to be honest. Don't find it productive.
Do you like distance yourself though, Jim? Do you have like a little desk in that way? You sort of away from, do you know what I mean? Put yourself as if you're going to work type of thing.
Yeah, and you have to do that.
Yeah.
So like I leave the kitchen and the dining room for Margaret, and then she's got her sisters or anyone coming round, and I'll go into the living room, close the door there, and I'll use the living room as the office sort of thing.
Yeah, that's what I'd have to do, because seriously, I would. I could see myself getting more and more relaxed with it. Like my son, I've watched him do it.
Yeah.
He's worked from home, and you see him, his alarm goes off 5 minutes later, he's talking to someone from work, you know, dealing with something, and he's been up like 5 minutes. I'm like, I couldn't do that shit.
There's always when I work from home, there's always something. Like, what was it the other day? Obviously, there was the car situation, and then there was me lads. So I left my dogs down in my lads after the Christmas, and I went and collected them, and then I'm working from home. It was yesterday, it was. And his dog had one of them chicken things on a skewer.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
At the skewer. So my lad's missus is a vet, so she had to rush the dog in. They give it some treatment to try and see if it would pass through. And then they had to do x-rays on it, and it fucking pierced the stomach, the intestine.
Oh.
So they had to operate last night to take it out. But there's always something, you know what I mean? Because then you're running around for
It's like you saying you're at work now, Jim, but you're talking to us here now. You know what I mean? That's where I'd be like. I'd have the telly on and all sorts, and I'd be like, I wouldn't be able to concentrate.
Yeah, you can't really. I mean, even with YouTube now, I don't have it on. I'll have it on as where I've got a couple of announcements up, obviously, for Dave and Daryl and yourself. So I'll watch that, but you just don't. I don't really watch anything now. It's you just can't.
I just like the idea of your alarm going off, and well, not so much the alarm going off, but I like the idea of getting ready and going out to work and coming back in. You know what I mean?
Same. I still get up at 5:15.
Yeah.
Make me a cup of coffee. It's just the same. You've
It's
just
that
got to.
routine, that structure that does it for me. We're getting up for work. I need that. If I didn't have that, I'd probably fall fucking back into bad depression again.
Oh, shit. Kicking that dog. Keeps sitting on my foot.
You must be saving a fortune in squidgies now, eh, Jim? You know, them things where you used to stick in all the plug holes and that.
I got a full packet of them last night.
Well, it's better than wasting them, sticking them in bloody plug holes and that.
Full
Sockets.
packet.
I'm going to
I
go.
don't like them, mate.
Taking the piss now. They're doing them in 4 different flavours.
I'm going to go for 4 guys, and then I'm going to end this. So another 7, 8 minutes.
Yeah, okay.
I've been back 4 hours, and I've left the kids at the fucking mother-in-law's, haven't I? The wife won't be happy. You could have let her know. That's what it's going to be. I know it is. You could have let her know. No, I wanted 4 hours apiece.
Who else is doing it? It's down live tonight, did he say or not? What is it? Is it Tuesday today?
It is Tuesday, yeah.
I think there's Premier League on tonight as well, isn't there?
Who is it? No, I'm not bothered. Premier League.
4
Fucking
games. It's
finished.
4 games on. You say Phil Boy's away, is he?
It's in Switzerland. He's moved to Milan now, though.
Gone to see his bank manager in Switzerland.
Got a love it, haven't you? No, he's gone to meet the Chinese vape man.
Coming out in August, these vapes. 4 different flavours. Get them, Bear. Who is it? Who's that? Tell him. Yeah, that's what you get.
It's a man's bark, that, like, isn't it?
Isn't it just?
Yeah, well, felt that from here.
Who is it? Tell him. Good boy. Who is it? Good boy. Here. Good boy. Good lad.
Do you know what I found in the fucking freezer last night?
A dead body.
I dread to think.
Go on, have a guess. Fucking 22 pound turkey.
What, you forgot about it?
Apparently in November, somebody told me that there's going to be a turkey shortage.
Well, you forgot about it. How big's your fucking freezer? Jesus Christ.
What big enough?
There was that underneath a few packets of chicken nuggets.
No, it was under all the caviar and the salmon.
I know, I don't think I'd get one in my freezer. Jesus Christ. So what have you done? Have you defrosted it?
No, I haven't defrosted it.
It'll go out of date, man.
The whole fucking compartment.
Nah, as long as it's frozen, it'll be alright.
Told you, that's your age, that, like, Jim, you know what I mean? Forgetting about turkeys and that.
Never mind. Fucking red is terrible, isn't it?
Mog.
So what I like by you?
Rogue mog.
Same. Dark, dingy, wet.
Yeah.
Cold. Any lives or videos?
Don't mind wind or something. I hate rain.
I know, rain. I hate wind as well, though. You know, when it's proper windy, that's worse than that for me.
I don't mind it.
I just hate the English weather, basically.
Oh, I've just had a message off my boss. It looks like we've got some timber due in. Woohoo!
Yeah, well, Dave loves the wind. That's his new fence panels.
You know what? So, I'm not going to say it. Like, I'm not going to say it, Dave. I know you make great fence panels, Dave. I've seen you at work. They're the best.
I'm the best in this country for my age, mate. I won the 2020-2021 UK fence panel making championship 2 years in a row, mate.
Well, I can well believe it. I would
Did
buy a
Crystal
panel
Brick
off
enter
it.
that?
Sorry, Jim.
Did Crystal Brick enter it?
Chris the Brick comes second, so you can imagine how good Dave's were.
Yeah, competition was high.
Now, do you know what they found out? When I started this job making these panels, there was a mysterious case of a lot of panels being broken in the area.
All of the bits.
just mysteriously appearing with holes in them overnight. It wasn't nothing to do with me, like.
There was a shortage last year of fence panels, wasn't there?
I don't know how we had loads in, Jim. I think what
Yeah,
it is,
we had that big storm, didn't we?
yeah, he's put the price up on everything. People are starting to go elsewhere. They have.
Yeah.
I think Dave's going to regret saying that he's the panel champion. Daryl's onto it already, like.
Hey, listen to this, right? Go and have a quick look at that video on my channel. I think you two have seen it, and me making them panels. I think I do 7 panels in 10 minutes, and them 7 panels are £36 a pop. And that's the speed I work all day, is what I'm working that video. I make them their money, mate.
That's it, though. That's it, though, Dave. That's it, you doing that for him, and what's he doing for you, mate? Fuck all, is he?
Not at the minute, mate. I had 22 hours last week, Fly. 22 hours, mate.
So, I mean, when he sent you that text there saying, oh, good news, we've got some wood in, you should have said, oh, yeah, good news, I can eat this week now.
I haven't looked at it yet. I don't even know what it says.
So you're not on a contract, Dave? You're not on a contract? Is it just supply and demand sort of thing?
Yeah, I don't have to go home. I don't have to leave early. But when it's fucking freezing cold and it's raining and there's nothing to do whatsoever apart from sweep the floor, I know where I'd rather be.
Yeah, it's tempting, isn't it? I mean, you're not thinking about the money then, you're just thinking about getting home, aren't you? But still, I mean, a big company like that, they shouldn't go short of wood, should they? You know what I mean? It's fucking business.
Tight bastards, mate. That's all they are.
Yeah.
It's all about their own pocket, mate. Do you know what I mean? We're just numbers to them. That's the way they see it.
Same everywhere, mate.
Shitloads of YouTube over the holidays. I only actually went on a cesspit chat.
Yeah, I see you in the cesspit chat like Jim. Funny as, mate. Proper chuckling away at myself, like.
New Year's was quite good. I would have loved to have jumped on the panels, but I'd had a bit too much. Oh, fuck's sake.
What do you think of Gambino now then, Jim?
She's alright, isn't she?
Has she gone to another channel yet? Has she clicked onto another channel yet? Or is she just like, she's still watching, isn't she?
Just an old woman who loves watching YouTube. It just goes on there. She is a bit Voldemort.
Wakey Wines!
She's terrible. She is foul mouth, but it keeps her sane, and that's what you've just got to look at. It looks so what she's. You know what? If you ignore what people say and just enjoy it, it's just an entertainment platform. Just don't take everything too personal.
Dazza, can you just put Nutter's channel up for me, please, mate? He's the next one we need to get to 1,000 subs.
Yeah, Darryl, I'll not be able to do a live, mate. I've been talking to Dave for ages. I've got a few things to do, but if you want to do one at 6, mate, I'll watch that. But I won't be able to do.
Must be 1,000, mustn't he? Surely.
No, not quite. He's got all his watch hours up. He's pissed that. He just needs his 1,000 subs now.
Do you know what he needs to start doing? He needs to start doing 3 shorts a day.
Yeah, 100%.
15 shorts will bring him 15 shorts a week. Will bring him an extra 50 subs a week.
Yeah,
I'll tell you now. And not just that, it'll give him the watch hours as well.
Mate, Jim, no word of a lie, Jim and Dave, right, or anyone in the chat, right? This is no lie. I got 500 subs in 35 days off shorts.
Yeah, I don't know. It was just unreal, wasn't it? Smashed
Mate,
it.
Dave, you had one of them. You got 40 subs off it, didn't you? Off one shot or something.
48 subs off one short.
Yeah, I
Looks
get it.
like-
I got it with but I can't understand. I mean, obviously, I get a lot of Indian and I don't know. They might be Chinese or I haven't got a clue what language. So they write and a comment, and then you say that you see that they've subbed, and I think I haven't got a fucking clue what you're saying.
I know, yeah.
I got a clue. They comment in the language, and you're thinking, great.
I put some up with the dolphins, you know, some dolphins like doing tricks and that in like a pool and like abroad. And I got one comment on them off somebody slagging me off saying, "Oh, the poor dolphins, keeping them in swimming pools and that."
Would you see that? I know that guy I keep promoting on my channel, putting his music videos up.
Apollo.
Apollo
Yeah.
Smith. Right. Did you see he wrote a song with me mentioned me in it?
Yeah,
I know, fucking brilliant. Jesus Christ.
Have you not watched any of Bob Smith stuff, Jim? He's still doing it, mate. He's still coming out with classics, you know.
I might do a review of a Bob video. Is he still coming out with the good videos?
Oh, mate. You know, when you were on WhatsApp, I was sending you some links. I was saying, Jim, you've got to watch this, but you'd lost your phone or you changed your number, hadn't you, or something?
It's my work phone.
So
Yeah.
if I send you any links, I'll just open them right from me. And we've been putting some quality stuff out, mate. Hilarious.
Have a look.
Yeah,
Have a look.
100%.
I'm starting my morning VTs up from next Monday.
Yeah, good one.
I was going to start this morning, but I just thought I'm better than not. I get into fucking trouble.
What? That's what I've just noticed. Why aren't the names up on the screen? Is it because I've got...
You keep putting comments on. You've got to take the comment off. Like, click on the comment twice.
Oh, you haven't? Oh, there you go. Oh, yeah.
Ah, there we go.
Yeah, because like last night, did you see it, Jim? Last night at Expo when he had 5 headlamps and a comment up. He didn't have a clue who was on the panel or anything.
I didn't watch Expo over the holidays, to be honest. These either on too late or it was on the same time as the cesspit, so I just couldn't.
Yeah.
I'm gonna wrap this
Yeah,
up.
I'm gonna nick off, mate. Got a few things to do, but
Can I be
Have a
on
good
enjoyed
one.
that, mate. Enjoyed that chat.
2
Been
hours?
good. Good
Catch you
Nice.
later, guys.
Coming
See you
in.
later.
Big up to you,
See you
Jim.
later, Jim. Yeah,
Take
Jim.
care. Thanks for coming on.
Yeah, see you later, Dave. I'll let you say bye.
Big love, mate. Take care. Right, guys. Thank you all for coming in. Big love to you all. Thank you for the support. And no doubt I'll see you in some chats later. If not, I'll see you on the next one. Enjoy the rest of your day, guys. God bless.